Day 217 on the ISS. I can only assume you guys are not sharing the stream enough and NASA haven't watched it. Interestingly, whilst up here, I found a secret room titled the Bush Sex Archives, and not really sure what to do with that information, to be honest.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE, and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Netflix has done to Netflix. Love is sharing a password. Stop sharing your passwords. Here's a new show. Gonna cancel it. Yeah, has anyone actually watched anything on Netflix recently? Anyway, hello. Thank you everyone for joining once again for a, intellectual discussion. No. Apologies for my conspicuous absence over the past few days. Many of you know I have a young daughter. Another way to describe a young daughter at primary school is a petri dish. Every little virus, bacterium, is picked up and then brought home and lovingly shared with Daddy. And she brought something home, which I thought was just a normal cold, but then knocked me out for like 4 days. So, even looking at a monitor was giving me a migraine. So I'm kind of on the back end of that, feeling mostly better. So I thought, what better way to help me recover than inflict brain damage by talking to flat earthers? Thank you everyone for joining. Recently there was a PPV, a pay-per-view debate between me and Bro Sanchez, moderated by Jeranism, which I will be releasing in full on this channel tomorrow. This is the aftermath of that. Everyone that paid to watch that debate, which is quite a lot of the flat earthers and a few of you, so thank you, is now going to have the opportunity to come in and challenge things that I said in the debate. So basically, I am going to be arguing with a whole bunch of flat earthers. Because, why not? So let's do it then, shall we? Let's go and talk to the lovely, not at all easily triggered Brother Sanchez. Let's get him up on the screen. Zoom meetings. He's currently busy talking about a rap battle or something. So anyway, let's see how he's doing. Hello, Brother Sanchez. How are you doing? Nope, he can't hear me yet. Apparently he's mad that there's a rap battle where someone's taking the mick out of the flat earth. So, and he's talking to his crew about that right now. Are you there ready, Brother Sanchez? I think he's forgotten that I'm here. So whilst he is ready, You know what? Would help.
Can he hear me?
Hello,
Can you hear me,
hello.
Craig?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I turned off your audio. My bad. This is a good start,
it's all
isn't it?
good.
My brain is working
yeah.
at full capacity, obviously.
So yeah, that's what was happening, Craig. We had a battle rap go on. You know, I'm a rapper too. So in a
Me too.
popular battle rap, a guy was dissing Flat Earth in his battle rap. So you probably want to snip.
Do you know
that
I
for
did a
your
rap where I
collection.
also dissed Flat Earth?
Huh?
I was also involved in a rap that was dissing the Flat Earth. Do you want to hear it?
You didn't rap it. Let's hear it. Let's go.
Oh, I'll play my part, which is the bit at the end. So, where is it?
Craig
Yeah,
got a Flat Earth this, y'all. Brace yourself. He gonna get.
You thought it was over? Well, I'm still standing while you're swinging, flinging feces, talking shit just like the human centipede. You got the mind of a chimp, and I'm here to expedite your shore leave. Cause I'm a seaman, but not the kind I writ up on your mum's gums. I'm the kind that sailed submarines and fired guns. I could float a boat across the ocean with my eyes closed, circumnavigate the globe with a compass and a bag of sausage rolls. Well, all you can do is nibble on your toes. I smack you with the hose that you taught a water level, sit and swivel. You nasal gazing puppet, you can stuff it harder than the wallet stuffed by Warren Buffett. And I don't care about your sauces unless you're serving them. And I don't care about your lines unless you're curving them. Now step away from me, you're sucking up my oxygen with the vacuum where your brain should be, you dumb fuck. Yeah,
Hey,
me spitting
respectfully, that
bars.
sounded like Kids Bop.
Wow.
Respectfully, that was
terrible.
some Kids Bop shit. Respectfully, Sanchez.
We
I
just
don't know
left
what.
the earth for a few minutes with that. We
I don't know.
was gone somewhere else in like Craig Planet somewhere. In the heliocentric model.
It wasn't a comfortable place.
Hey man,
Yeah.
you know
It was
them
one
bars
of
were
those
fire.
planets where it rained sideways, the glass and shit. Nah, that
Flat
was
power.
all right. Though.
Flat power.
Flat power. Salutes to Craig, man. Let's clap it up though. Yeah, we back for another. Hold on, wrong button. Let's clap it up. As always, may the forces be with all of the debaters today. Y'all know me. I'm gonna kind of fall back and play the moderator. And it was Craig was returning to battle against a lot of my entourage, and I see some of you guys are on, so go right at it, man. We on an offensive here. I think Craig wants y'all to just bomb away, and he'll deal with each one of y'all. So go ahead.
Hey, Craig, how
Who
you
got
doing, man?
first that wanna challenge Craig on a?
I'll hop in. Sanchez, real
okay.
quick. Start it off, if you don't mind.
For sure, that's what's up. Appreciate it, bro.
Hey, Flat Power. What's up, Sanchez? What's up, fam? Respect,
good?
Craig. Whether you believe it or not, though, we mess with you on this channel because you willing to come back and you actually try to talk about things in a scientifical or educational manner instead of beating around the bush. But I do want to ask you though, as far as start off the conversation of us going with you flat earth, round earth, how do you explain the fact, because I've asked this on the channel and I just want to know if you're going to be honest about it, because whether we believe satellites, NASA's information, Hubble telescope pictures and images, we all know that this stuff comes back in digital form. Okay, so I guess what I'm asking you is, are you willing to admit that whether they have actual telescopes and stuff out there or not, whether these things are really hovering in space or not, we're still taking the word of NASA, taking the word, not the information, because they're turning numbers into images and portraying them to us. And whether you're a flat earther or a round earther, you, Craig, neither or I are actually taking that data ourselves, taking the information that they claim to have translated into images and verifying that. So can you at least admit that we're just taking their word for it either way?
Well, we can check the data. NASA have,
but have you?
We can see the data come in. Third parties can track radio signals themselves and interpret it.
Are you a third party, Craig? Are you a third party?
Personally, I don't have the equipment to do that, but I know personally many people who can track the things that NASA and other space agencies say are there. You know, we don't have to take the word of what they say. We can, you know, verify where these signals are coming from, you know, ourselves.
Really quickly. So you know somebody that has a telescope that has the capabilities of Hubbard, that is not part of NASA, that can verify like these galaxies that are far, far away, or like, you know, are you just talking about basic stuff like satellites and stuff like that?
No. Well, I've got there's a guy on Twitter, there's a friend of mine called Astronomy Live, who does solar system level tracking of you know, objects that NASA and other people say there's there. I've got a good friend on Twitter who uses an extremely expensive setup to take pictures that are similar to ones taken by NASA, like pictures of the Horsehead Nebula and stuff. He'll set up his equipment and do long exposure shots over, you know, 3 or 4 hours to get his versions of those images. You know,
And this
we don't have to verify.
This is coming in numerical data. This is coming in numerically.
Well, no, this would be things like, you know, actually taking the images in real time using a telescope. You know, so they wouldn't have the signal transmitted from a satellite in space like NASA do. But what they can do is verify what, you know, if NASA use a satellite in space to take an image of the Horsehead Nebula, they can then set up their equipment on the ground and look where NASA said this came from and get their own images of the Horsehead Nebula. I wish I had them on my file.
But the reason why I asked the question, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the reason why I asked the question in the first place, I don't think we're understanding each other. The reason why I'm asking the question in the first place is because, to my understanding, unless I'm wrong, they are not taking actual photo images. They are turning mathematic information into images. Am I wrong about that?
Almost. So the camera sensors on whatever equipment is in space, like the Hubble telescope, you know, they act like other cameras. They have a sensor that receives light and then, you know, does something with that light. You know, exactly like if you take a picture with your cell phone, the light comes into the sensor and then your phone will turn that light into an image. The cameras on these satellites in space do the same thing. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any knowledge? Let me just finish. Let me just finish
because I know where you're going. Listen.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any knowledge? Because it seems like you don't know how these processes are. Once again, you're taking other people's word. Do you have any knowledge of how the taking light in from a camera on Earth in our atmosphere differentiates from how it would work in space? Because I'm sure they wouldn't work the same, would they, Craig?
Well, yeah, of course. You take that into account. For instance, when you're taking the images from the ground, you're going to have to take things into account, like the fact there's an atmosphere, and that will, you know, distort the light slightly, but you can make adjustments for this. That's why NASA and other space agencies put things in space to take the images, because it's a lot clearer. You know, obviously we don't have the equipment that NASA does. We don't have billions of dollars. But for a few $1,000s, you can get a relatively decent setup that can image most of the things that NASA can. Now, there's a lot of things that we can't do that NASA can do because they've got a lot better technology, but we can verify as much as possible.
So
you know?
Look, I guess I'll end it with this, though, because I would have to say, and I'll end it with this so we can go to somebody else, but I would have to say that based upon what you just said, I mean, that would take a lot of trust, because you just claimed that they're spending billions of dollars on equipment. And you said for a couple $1,000s we can get close. I would like to make the argument that if that's the case, then they're wasting our money, because I would think that spending billions of dollars would get you a lot more detail than something that your friend that you personally know, even though you haven't done these experiments with him, would be able to verify of NASA when they're spending billions and he's spending thousands. But if you want
for
to
instance, this image here is this is an image that my friend took of the Whirlpool galaxy, which is a galaxy that is relatively close to us cosmically speaking.
Can I ask you a question just real quick, Craig?
Okay, I was talking about carrot. Yeah, sure.
It'll just be real quick. Can you be sure that ain't a chorizo sausage?
Can I be sure that isn't a chorizo sausage? Well, I have to trust the word of my friend in this case, and I don't think my friend would. You know,
that's what I started the whole thing with.
But my point is that, you know, NASA's version of this picture is a lot bigger, a lot clearer, right? But then you can use equipment that you can buy on Earth to, you know, verify, you know, what they say is correct.
But do you see how this works, Craig? I asked you a direct question at the beginning of this, and you literally spent minutes saying a bunch of stuff and then just verify the question that I said. Basically, you're just accepting their information, right? Because I
Well, not
started
NASA. This is my friend's information in this case. You know, would my friend lie to me?
Right.
I mean, he didn't pay me back the tenner I lent him, but you know,
isn't that real life? I mean, that's reality. People lie to people, friends or family or not, right? Friends, enemies, family. I mean, that happens.
I mean, if you want to get the money together and buy me that equipment, I'll do it. You know.
That's why I brought this up, because people do lie to us. Even scientists lie like this was a galaxy when it was a chorizo sausage.
Yeah, I think that was just a joke, though, right?
It was a lie.
There's a difference between a joke and a lie. He never said that's what this is 100%. He was joking. You know, he didn't present this scientifically as that. He was just joking that that's what it looked like.
The joke was on y'all. That looked like a burning sun that they would tell
why
y'all.
He didn't just say, "Don't this galaxy"? Why didn't he just say, "Don't"?
Because he was making a joke. People make jokes.
Look like a galaxy.
Look, listen, yo. He made a claim. He claimed that it showed the closest star to the sun. And if you come out later and say I was just playing, then guess what? He's not in a position that he's not a circus member. He's supposed to be a scientist. We don't want.
So scientists aren't allowed to joke.
Playing with me like that.
Yeah, I hope that's not Craig's friend. Right. I hope that's not Craig's friend.
So scientists aren't allowed to joke. Is that what you're saying on their personal Twitter accounts?
I got a question for Craig.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get to the next question. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing fine. So Craig, do you have an inner monologue?
Do I have what? Sorry.
Like, do you have an inner voice in your head?
I have a few. Yeah.
You have an inner voice in your head?
I have a few of them. Yeah.
Okay. I'm making sure.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you something, Craig. Let me ask you something, Craig. Hey, let me ask this question.
Yeah, okay, one at a time. Was that it? Asking about an inner monologue? Was that the entire conversation there?
No, because you do know that we pull everything from the outside inside of our eyes, right?
So
everything is within us. Those signals that they picking up on is in your head.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, hey man, let me get my question, man.
Okay, yeah. Next up,
I want to ask you, Craig, man. If we understand,
you don't want to deal with that.
Specifically, no medium in outer space in the cosmos. How does light travel?
Light is a self-propagating wave. It doesn't require a medium.
That's who.
So that's saying that a wave can move without we see waves in the ocean, right? We can see these waves because energy moving through a medium called water, right? So you're telling me that you can have the absence of a medium but still have the presence of a wave, which requires a medium?
A medium, right? A contained space.
Well, an electromagnetic wave is self-propagating, which means it propagates itself. It doesn't require a medium to propagate.
That's the problem. What you're saying here,
and this is something that we've shown. We can take a vacuum chamber.
And electromagnetic waves, brother.
Yeah, but okay, so we can take a vacuum chamber, right, and still see things inside that vacuum chamber, even though there's now no medium in that vacuum chamber, because light travels through a medium.
Invisible. I'm asking you, if there's a light source like a star or a sun, how does the light stretch from the sun and reach a destination if there's no medium to carry the wavelength of the light?
Because it's a self-propagating wave.
So that's like saying it's a rogue wave. It still need water. Whether it's a tidal wave, a rogue, with the type of wave don't matter. It matters that it needs to be in a medium. It can it travels through a medium.
Okay, so there's
because
how
before
much
you say that, Craig, this is what I want to say.
Okay, well, I can give you a more detailed explanation if you like.
Self-propagating thing, right?
Yeah.
To me, and you might have to explain it a little bit better, but to me, what self-propagating just means is that it may have started its own radiance, and it can continue its radiance, but that does not mean it started the movement of those atoms or those light waves.
No. What started the light waves is a transfer of energy between something. So when you have a particle that is at a normal state, it's at rest, you give it energy and it becomes excited. And when a particle is excited, it releases energy, okay? So this is going to be quite scientific and wordy, so just let me get through this, referring to some of my old notes here. So light can travel without a medium because it is a form of electromagnetic radiation. Unlike sound or water waves, which need a medium to propagate, light waves consist of oscillating electric and magnetic fields that can propagate through empty space. This is due to the nature of light itself, which is composed of discrete packets of energy called photons. These photons have both wave-like and particle-like properties, a concept known as wave-particle duality. As a wave, light travels by oscillating electric and magnetic fields perpendicularly to each other, forming what we call an electromagnetic wave. As a particle, the photon has no rest mass and is not dependent on interacting with matter to propagate. This allows light to travel across the vacuum of space from stars to and our sun to reach us here on Earth, and it's also why we can use telescopes to observe distant galaxies billions of light years away. If light needed the medium to travel, space would be dark because there is no air or other medium in space for light to travel through. Okay, that's the scientific wordy explanation.
That was explaining right there.
And I understand what you're saying, but this is a big problem here. Because how do you have an electromagnetic field with no space for it to propagate within?
It is electromagnetic radiation. That radiation is moving, right? Okay, so something, i.e. a star, emits electromagnetic radiation. And that radiation is a combination of electric and magnetic waves that act perpendicularly to each other. So one goes up and down, and one goes in and out. And because of the interactions of those electric and magnetic waves, it makes itself propagate. And also you have to consider the wave-particle duality and the fact that light can act as a particle, except a particle that doesn't have any mass, which means it will travel at the speed of light.
And you have to take their word for that too, because
there's nothing about taking our word for it. There's scientific experiments that show this is the case. Our knowledge of light is something.
How can you have a magnetic field with nothing in between? How do you?
It comes from a magnetic field. It is the wave itself is electromagnetic and magnetic field. That's what it is, and it propagates. And like I said, the evidence that this is possible.
Now listen to what you're saying.
Let me respond. You have to let me get more than one sentence out, bud.
It's electromagnetic.
Excuse me, one sec. You have to let me get more than one sentence out, okay? The evidence that this can happen is the fact that you can take a vacuum chamber, remove the medium from it, and still see things in that vacuum chamber, all right? There is no medium in that vacuum chamber anymore, yet you can still see light. Which means that that's evidence, whether you want to believe it or not, the fact that we can see things in a vacuum chamber is evidence that light travels even if there is no medium. And the reason it does this is because of the nature of light itself.
If space is, you said that light can shine in space, I want to know why space isn't illuminated, why it's dark. That's just
okay. That's very simple to answer. So we don't see, just light as it's, if light was just traveling past us, we wouldn't see that. We only see light if that electromagnetic wave has hit something, bounced off of it, and then come to our eyes. If there's nothing for that wave to bounce off, like an empty space, then there's nothing for it to bounce off and come to our eyes.
That's what the brother was saying. You need a medium for the light to move through for the wave to bounce off. So
no, that's not what I said.
So it can shine. For example, like
the bouncing is different to the traveling.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? The bouncing is different to the traveling. So it will travel between the medium. It will travel through space. So let's say between the sun and Mars, right?
No, you said the medium.
I said that by accident.
See, now I got you, Craig. I got you. Now check this.
Yeah, he said medium. He can't explain it without saying medium.
Again, I said that word by accident. Are you guys going to let me actually get an explanation out before you jump in? Right? Let me finish my explanation. Please let me finish my explanation, okay? So the sun will emit the light, right? And that light would travel through space and hit Mars, and then bounce off of Mars, and then come to our eyes. We don't see that light as it travels from the sun to Mars. We only see it because it's bounced off of Mars and come to our eyes. There. I've now finished my explanation. Please carry on.
Okay, now, that right there would sound good if you can replicate how a light can pass through a space of no medium, no
Yeah, a vacuum. I've
atmospheric
explained that. A
bouncing
vacuum chamber.
refraction. Hold on, let me finish. Hold on. And then if you can replicate how it can pass through a space of no medium, no atmospheric anything, and then land or hit its destination, like basically like Sanchez was finna say, a spotlight over the ocean. We can see the light flash from the head of the spotlight reaching to a boat or anything. You can see the wave of light in the middle of the air. Now you saying that outer space,
Waiting for
you won't be
pairing.
able to see this light passing in the medium or in the atmosphere. I mean, in the cosmos, you'll only see it when it lands to where it's trying to go.
None of that made any sense.
like I
So,
said,
right,
bro,
again,
nothing-
let's take
you
a
know,
vacuum
you-
chamber.
you
Right,
have to take
before
the
someone else
words
says
that you're
something, let me
not
respond.
space.
Before
You
someone
only
else says
prove it on
something,
Earth.
please let me respond. Guys, please, one at a time. Right. Again, let's take a vacuum chamber. We can all agree that vacuum chamber has no medium in it. They've taken the air out, okay? You can shine a light into that vacuum chamber from the outside, and it will bounce off something in that vacuum chamber, which has no medium, and then come to your eyes, even though it's gone through the vacuum chamber, which has no medium in.
Sense.
The
What do you mean
problem
it
with
doesn't?
that is
You
there's
said-
a
Because
light.
they have
wait,
light
wait,
on
wait,
in the
wait,
room.
wait,
How are you
wait.
guys not getting
You said
this? The
it'll-
vacuum chamber
you said
has no
it'll
medium,
bounce
right?
off something that has no medium and
Yeah.
come back to your eyes. Those were your words.
Yes.
Yeah. And the experiment is
That's
flawed
kind of-
because
yeah.
the light source should not be outside of the vacuum.
You can put it inside the vacuum chamber if you want. It doesn't matter. The light will travel inside the vacuum chamber, which has no medium in. And if you put something in that vacuum chamber, the light will bounce off of that thing and then travel in all directions. And if you are looking towards that thing, one of the directions that light will travel is to your eyes through that vacuum chamber that has no medium. Because light does not require a medium to propagate. Otherwise, a vacuum chamber would be dark all of the time.
That's what outer space is. You're right.
But we can see things in space, right? We can see like
That
things
was the
that is bounced
problem,
off,
though.
right?
That's the contradiction we bringing
But
up. That's what.
there's
that's
no
the point.
contradiction. If there was, if light couldn't travel through a medium, that's sorry, I keep saying it. If light couldn't travel through something with no medium, then we wouldn't be able to see anything in that vacuum chamber, regardless of it whether there was something in there or not. Just like we wouldn't be able to see anything in space, we wouldn't be able to see the planets, we wouldn't be able to see the stars.
That's right.
But what we can
That's the
see
point we're
is the
trying to
light that has come to our eyes. Just like from a vacuum chamber, we would see the light that has come to our eyes. Both space and a vacuum chamber have nothing in, but light can travel through both of them.
Listen.
Yeah, but we have light on the Earth. When they
Ultraviolet.
do that on Earth, real quick, when they do that on Earth, they have light in the room, bro. That's what he was trying to say about space. There's no light.
Yeah,
in
you can
space.
put a
They
light
don't do
in the
that.
vacuum
They
chamber.
don't do
Yeah.
that in a dark room. If they were on Earth in a dark room and did a vacuum chamber and tried to see what, we wouldn't be able to see shit because the room's dark,
Yeah,
like how space would be. But go ahead.
What if you then put a light in that vacuum chamber, just like there's a light in space, i.e. the sun?
What? But you just said the sun's 93 million miles away, and you said the
Yeah.
only reason we see the sun's light in space is because it's bouncing off Mars and shit. Like, think about that, bro. Mars is way closer.
No,
Like,
that's
you're not
how
making
we
any
see
sense.
Mars.
But
We can see the
I
sun
got my
because
own
the light's
question,
coming
though,
to our
but go
eyes.
ahead, bro. It just don't make sense.
We can see. Sorry, one sec. Excuse me, I apologize.
Hey,
I'm getting over a
salute
bad cold.
everybody.
So
good,
we can
Bob?
see
What's
Mars
up with
just like we can see the sun. We can see the sun because the light comes from the sun to our eyes. We can see Mars because the light goes from the sun, bounces off of Mars, and
physical
comes
light,
to our eyes.
ultraviolet.
Right?
Can I?
So
can I,
let me
well,
finish
y'all
what I'm
kinda
saying.
both
Please
saying
let
the
me
same
finish what I'm
thing.
saying. Please let me finish what I'm saying first. Now, in a vacuum chamber, you could do the same. You could put a light source, like a torch, in a vacuum chamber, and you could put a ball, and you would see the ball because the light in the vacuum chamber would illuminate the ball, even though there's no medium. So we all need to agree that light can travel without a medium because a vacuum
Facts.
chamber
No.
is not
This
dark.
is a fact.
Okay.
Light is self-propagating. But even with that explanation, Craig, and I'm agreeing with you. You know what I'm saying? Or if I mess your name up, I'm agreeing.
No,
with
Craig's
you. But
good.
Then how does that explain the vast darkness of the universe? Then
Because space is mostly nothing.
Even wait a minute, the universe, light doesn't need a medium. I'm agreeing. The universe don't have a medium, so therefore the light that go from the sun to the earth should be seen through the whole universe.
No, again, to actually see the light, it has to come from a source. So it's not gonna. Empty space. We're not going to be able to see empty space because there's nothing there for it to bounce off of to come to our eyes, right?
Is the empty space. Yeah, it's plenty of things for it to bounce off of. It's
space is mostly nothing.
It's no air.
Yeah, but space is mostly nothing,
also that
right?
Listen to me. Listen to me, brother.
Go ahead.
It can illuminate the space that's there. You just said that light don't
only
need
if there's something for it to bounce off of.
No, wait. I'm using your words. You just
make
said
sure you get my words right.
A medium or anything for illumination. It don't.
No, to propagate, not illumination. That's not the same thing.
Wait. Light can illuminate a vacuum, brother. You
just
said
I said light can propagate in a vacuum, not illuminate a vacuum.
Yes,
if it bounces off of something,
propagating, that's illumination.
No. If it bounces off of something, that thing will have.
Propagate. By the way,
guys, am I going to be allowed to talk? Are you going to let me talk?
Spread out. That's what. Come on, Sanchez.
Are you guys going to let me talk, or
it spreads?
Are you guys going to let me? No. Am I not allowed to talk?
No, go ahead.
If you guys want me to respond, you need to let me respond. Okay. Light needs a source, and then if you want to see that light, it needs to come to your eyes. Now, if that light bounces off of something, that thing that it's bouncing off of now becomes the source because that will have its own illumination. But emptiness isn't going to be illuminated because we don't see it unless it's come to our eyes. So that's why we can see stars that are, in the distance. That's why we can see galaxies that are billions of light years away because that light has come from that source to our eyes. But that's why we can also see planets. Because the light comes from the source, bounces off that planet, and comes to our eyes.
What about the biggest vacuum chamber in the world that got light bulbs in it? That in that theory, it shouldn't be able to see light inside of that thing.
Except it's a massive chamber with walls that the light will be bouncing off of all the time.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So in your theory, because the universe is so massive,
very big.
The planets and everything else that's in front of us, it don't matter. The sun gotta actually touch the earth for us to see the light. That's what you're saying?
I said the light has to touch the planets for us to see it.
And by the light just traveling through the empty space, you don't see the light because it can't illuminate the empty space. That's what you're saying. Light can't illuminate empty spaces.
So a way to explain this is that a light wave is energy. Okay, so that energy needs to hit something. So let's say there's a rock in space and that rock's just got a rest energy. But the energy from a light wave hits that rock and it transfers some of that energy to the rock, which makes the rock emit its own energy that you then see. Okay?
Well, in your globe Earth theory, I think in the universe theory that you coming from, it already did hit something with the Big Bang. We just waiting on the energy to go back. So even in your theory, the light already went out and it's going back. So how do I'm saying?
I think you're confused about what the Big Bang is.
The universe itself is still expanding, bro. So if the sun is
space-time is expanding,
our little part of the galaxy or whatnot, we should be able to see everything within that space because it's not technically empty space. It's things there.
That's true.
Yeah, we can see the things like other. Of course, we can see the things.
Can I say something, guys?
Wait. When someone says something, I need to respond. Guys, stop. Right, when someone says something, I need to respond before other people jump in, okay? Otherwise, this is just going to be chaos. Right, so we do see things in space. We see the stars and we see the planets because they emit the light. And that's what we see. But the blackness...
We only see it from Earth because we've never been out.
No, I am so sorry. I apologize deeply that the middle of my conversation interrupted the beginning of yours. I am so sorry about that. So the blackness is the bits where there's no light, there's no source, there's nothing being bounced off. The bits we see, like the stars and the planets, are the bits where there is light coming to us. This is very simple stuff. Okay, please next.
All right, so can I say something real quick?
I have my hand raised.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. I got you. Let me moderate. Let me see here. Let's go to Hermes. That's right.
I was gonna say, space is actually filled with light, but it's ultraviolet lights. That's why we don't see space filled up with light.
Well, light, space
We
is
only-
like
we only
all of
see
light is
physical
in
light.
space. Light ultraviolet is just part of the spectrum that we can't see. Just like infrared.
Exactly.
You know, there's infrared in space, just like there's ultraviolet in space. But
I got a question.
that's not really yeah, that made no sense.
I got a question. Hold on, man. We got some feedback. Come on, when y'all join. Oh, you can unmute, Greg. You can unmute. So so I want to know, what is dark matter? I'm just picking y'all brain. What is
no
dark
idea?
Matter?
Absolutely no clue. We don't really know yet. So the thing about dark matter and dark energy is they're placeholders. All right. We're at the beginning of the scientific method with those things. So we have
wait.
Let me finish.
He killed himself.
Hold on. Let me say something. They say
Okay, I won't be able to
matter
finish my.
85% of all the matter in the universe, and it's just a placeholder.
Yeah. So let me finish my what I was trying to say. So we're at the beginning of the scientific method with dark energy and dark matter. Okay, we have made observations. We've seen things that happen which we don't have full explanations for yet. So we have given, like, what is apparently an effect of mass, the name dark matter. All right. So we are currently in the stage of forming hypothesis about this. But the problem with it is it's non-baryonic in nature. We can't see it. What we can see is the effects of it, but we can't see it, and we don't know how to detect it. So it's very hard to form a hypothesis and a prediction and experiment when we don't really know how to yet. We're still investigating these things. So the simple answer to do with dark matter and dark energy is we don't know. We just see something happening, and we've called it this at the moment. We don't know. That's the problem. We're trying to figure this out. Because it's non-baryonic in nature, which means
how do you try to figure it out? What's the experiments you do for dark matter?
We don't know yet. That's the thing. We don't know yet because.
So how did we know it exists?
We've made observations of things happening, and our current like galaxies, like space expanding faster than we thought it would. We
how
thought
does that prove
from
dark matter.
Okay, if you let me finish a thought. Okay. So our initial predictions from what the Big Bang told us would be that the expansion of the universe would slow down. But we've noticed that, in fact, the expansion of the universe is getting faster, right? Which goes against what our early predictive models kind of showed. So this is not, and we see the galaxies moving away from each other in ways that don't quite match what we predicted before. So these observations gave us the idea that, well, there must be something creating a gravitational force that is bigger than the mass of the universe. We don't know what it is. We can just see something happening that we can't quite explain yet. And just for now, we're going to call it dark matter and dark energy. You know what? When we find out more, that name might change. There might be a million names for little things that happen, and we don't know. We are at the beginning of the scientific process with these things.
And what I know about dark matter personally, from my research, according to your science, is that it's just a unseen energy force, an unseen state of matter, like you said that they.
Yeah, that's what non-baryonic means. Yeah,
what it is. So, but they also say by them not being able to see it, right? They can see the effects of it, just like you explained, just like you was explaining. But the thing is this, my point is this right here, right? So we got this state of matter called dark matter that we can't see. It represents the unseen. They say it's 85% of the matter in the universe.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to go somewhere else that's not even flat earth now. I'm going to just go into the ancient sciences. The ancestors said that most of our reality is made up of what's called radiant matter or the spiritual realm. If you look at modern science today, they deny the idea of spirit or unseen reality or spiritual realm. And it was this realm that the ancestors said everything happened in the spiritual realm before it happened in the physical. We only have physics, but we don't have nothing to talk about this. We don't have no way to approach this spiritual realm, this unseen realm. We just kind of gave a church leeway into that, and they've gone nowhere with that. They've turned it into, a money system or whatever. But this whole dark matter is this unseen, this other state of matter that is the foundation of all the other states in their case, which will represent only 15% of would be earth, water, wind, and fire.
Okay.
The rest of it would be something called ether. That's the
So,
85. What we're calling dark matter, another name for it in ancient time was ether. Now, I'm not really having a discussion here about the shape of the earth. I'm just going into the nature of dark matter here, which is more talking about space.
What would be just interestingly, Sanchez? What would one sec, please? So that's your hypothesis, right? So how would you?
Not my hypothesis.
The expansion of what we see, you're saying that you think that's because of it being the ether, what the ancients mentioned it as. So how would you?
I didn't speak on anything about the expansion. I was talking about a state of matter. See, what I was talking about was this particular matter that you're
right. So the 85%, right?
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me finish. That you said your scientists really know nothing about yet. So at this point, everyone's able to speak on it, and there's no penalty because none of us know nothing about it, right? If we all trying to figure it out, we can just say what we want. And my shit may sound stupid, but at least we try. We at that baby phase where we're trying to figure out what is this dark matter. So this is one of them things where really can't nobody be wrong if all of us saying, look, we're at the stage where we just still trying to figure this thing out. You know it's there, but
that's
we don't
fair
know
enough.
shit else about it.
That's absolutely fair enough. So what would your hypothesis be for it? Because it's very hard to form a hypothesis about something that you can't see, right? So what would, if you were trying to, you made your observation. So following on from that with the things that you're saying, how would you go about forming a hypothesis for what you might think it is?
I would go about forming my hypothesis by I would gather a bunch of information from a whole bunch of people before me that have researched and spoke on it first and foremost, because that's always the smart thing to do. There's always information that exists before you got into the topic. So I would consider each of those avenues, not just the ones I like, but I would consider each of them. And then I carefully scrutinize each one. I would also take I would take from some of them and leave from some of them until ultimately what I will come out with is my own refined version based off all of them. Something they couldn't do because each one of them was just seeing it their way. But that the luxury of me having all the information now from these different people, such as the ancestors in antiquity, even up to the things modern science is saying today, my approach is always a syncretic approach, and that's the approach I would basically take, would be the foundation of my hypothesis, quite frankly.
Interesting. But the thing about dark matter, like I said, dark energy, is we really don't know enough about it to even kind of debate it. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you.
I agree.
There's interesting research, like they're actually talking about black holes could be the source of dark matter because of what they're doing to space-time. But again, it's all just at the moment ideas. We're doing the research. We don't know. We don't even know how to do the research right now, which makes it hard. We have to figure these things out as we go.
There is a camera that can take a picture of the fourth dimension called the Kerr-Lion camera.
Say that again.
Hey, why do all Globers always say we, like y'all doing the research, and the whole time we've been on this panel, we've been asking you questions that you cannot answer yourself because you have to refer us to your friends and NASA and stuff. Stop saying we, man. Say them, because that's what we're saying. We're saying that they are saying this and you are trusting it. So stop saying we, man. Please.
No, I say we genuine, because I base my
genuine.
position on logic and evidence, and I will accept evidence from all sources and scrutinize that evidence. So I will say
we. Keep saying we?
Because like I consider myself part of humanity, and humanity has done these things.
No, man, we is not humanity, because every time
I'm a human. I know that for sure.
Yeah, let's pass.
How about we stay on
topic? Let's pass it around. It's a couple of folks. We can pass it around, man. Salutes to everybody on the call. And let's go ahead and I can't see some of y'all. Let me see here.
Only meat and potatoes. Let's stay on topic. Only meat and potatoes.
Hey, Melvin, let me know when you're ready for the mic as well. We have Almond Rain. I think he's ready for it. Go ahead, Almond Rain.
Yeah, y'all go.
Yeah, as far as his question about like how you would be able to see what he was talking about the universe, the dark matter being ether, where did the Big Bang come from? Because it's a singularity that randomly appeared in the third dimension and then expanded out into what?
We don't know.
So it would have to be ether. And then another.
Wait, well, let me respond to that one question first before you go on to the next one. Ether would be something that would exist within the universe. Outside of the universe, we don't know. That's outside the previews of science. All right. All science can do is say that. Based on our observation, I mean, am I allowed to finish talking, or do you guys want to hear an explanation, or do you just want to interrupt me? There's two ways this can go. So, all science can do is go, look at what's going on and go back. And our observations show that if we go back in time, there was a point where all the matter and energy in the universe was a singularity. All right. What was before that singularity? What was outside that singularity? We have no idea. There's no way to know. That's not something science ever claims to know anything about. Science just says, well, our observations say this, that the Big Bang happened, and we can only talk about what's inside the universe. We don't have any way of talking about what's outside the universe.
Okay, so let me explain something. When we talk about ether is not really dealing with the outside or the inside of the universe. When we talk about what ether is, ether was supposed to be a state of matter which stood as the final placeholder of all the other states. And what another definition for ether was that which fills all spaces. So there became a conflict in science where when the heliocentric model came to popularity, they had to get rid of the concept of the ether when they introduced the concept of space. Because ether is that which fills all spaces. There would be no such thing as space if you had a concept of the ether, and both of these concepts can't coexist in the same model. So ether is saying, and the problems is, in today's science, they give you dark matter. They say 85% of our universe is basically unexplored as far as on a material level, matter, right? And so what that's basically saying, even they tell you that our world ain't really physical, because when you zoom in on things on a micro level, things are very hollow. You're just vibrating, quote unquote, atoms, right? So, but the whole point that I want to make with all of this is that the other 85% that's not accounted for, that was my point earlier. In ancient time, the concept was called ether. It was basically a primordial sea that everything sat within. You didn't have space. You had a real medium, an electromagnetic medium that housed this other 15%, versus us today saying, well, we know about earth, water, wind, and fire, which is 15% of the universe, but this other 85%, which is unseen, which is the source that started the Big Bang, we don't really care to investigate. I think that's crazy, and that's actually denying the spiritual part of reality, the unseen world, the vibrational side, and all that. But that's just my little opinion. Like Craig said, nobody can really be. This kind of falls into a theological kind of argument, morality and shit like that. If you with it, but yeah.
Hey, but before I got cut off, I was saying that there's a camera where you can take a picture of the fourth dimension. It's called the Kerlion camera.
What do you mean you can take a picture of the fourth dimension? Can you please define what that means?
It photographs the life force of matter, basically. You should look it up.
How does it do that?
Russian camera.
How does it do that?
I have to buy one. I don't know the anatomy of the camera, but you gotta look it up.
It's scientifically shown that it captures the life force of something, and that's apparently what the fourth dimension is. Yeah, I don't think that's true in the slightest.
Yeah, just look it up.
Okay.
We'll look it up.
Craig, I was gonna give you an example.
Hold on. Do your thing. Yeah, I got the. posted because we got a large list today, and I got people with hands raised, and we can't just overlook them. But salutes to everybody that I called on. I'm gonna come back to you though. Let's get everybody in real quick. Let's go on hop to J-Dub, man. Thank you for being patient, brother. Welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir, brother. I just want to, random thoughts. Approximately 2 weeks ago, he offered a challenge to Madon or any other globe earther to debate him, and they can't use authority, I guess, in the debate, etc. But I definitely would like to debate.
Oh shit!
Random
He hooked
thoughts.
up on random ass. I gotta drop a bomb. No, hold up, hell no.
I've been waiting for years for that.
Strong pull-up game.
Hey,
I've been waiting for
that
years
nigga,
for that.
yeah, he put up on his ass.
I've been waiting for
I have
years for that.
no idea what
man.
any of that's about.
Perfect timing. Sounds great. You can set it up whenever. bro.
That's an easy work.
Yeah,
But what's the criteria? Because I've been beating on Madon for years. But look, just to clarify, because I didn't forget what I said in case you thought I forgot when I called everybody out. I was basically saying instead of using other people, like I'm willing to use things that we can prove in real time, whether it be with each other or refer to things that happen on Earth and our logic to debate it. Right. So we don't got to go into imaginary outer space and do all this stuff. We can stay right here and we can debate that. And I'm willing to do that anytime, brother, respectfully. And I don't even know your name, but respectfully, I appreciate the call out.
I'd do that.
Because I've been waiting to
you said on
I
Earth.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, on the same random in his chest.
Well, what I can do, I'm gonna put my email address in the chat, and just email me, brother.
No idea what's going on.
Yeah,
Sounds
hey,
good,
look,
brother.
man. Yeah, we can set y'all up a debate, man, right here. We can do it, man.
Oh man, that would be lovely.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'll even moderate it. Yeah.
I just want to make a oh, you go ahead, man. Go ahead, brother. I see you.
All right, next question for me.
Yeah, let's
real quick. I'm gonna
that's
put my
what I
info in the
want
back
to
chat
do.
too.
That's what I want to do real quick. So who else we got in line? Flat motherfucking power.
I got a question, just a real quick question.
Go ahead.
Hey, the brother Craig. Quick question. Is the universe flat?
It could be described as flat in certain ways, but not in the same way that it's flat as a piece of paper. That's more of a description of what space-time is.
Well, we don't. Well, as a flat earther or people who consider the flat Earth, we don't consider the Earth flat like a piece of paper. So I hope that wasn't like a joke that you were trying to throw. I'm being serious. Is the universe flat? If you saying we can consider it flat, don't try to throw like a piece of paper or pancake or nothing. Like, is the by the scientific consensus, is the universe considered flat? Yes or no?
The prevailing model suggests that the universe is flat on large scales. This is based on observations of the cosmic microwave background radiation. When cosmologists describe the universe as flat, they are referring to its geometry. In a flat universe, the rules of Euclidean geometry that we learn in school, for example, parallel lines never cross, hold true when applied on a cosmic scale. If the universe were closed or open, these rules would not apply in the same way. It's important to note that saying the universe is flat doesn't mean it's two-dimensional plane, rather it refers to how space is stretched in the universe. In a flat universe, space isn't curved. This flatness is based on a density parameter called omega. If omega is equal to 1, the universe is flat. Observations from the Planck satellite mission suggest that this is the case, or with a very small margin of error. There's your answer.
But
so
that was great. Oh, go ahead, Sanchez. I just wanted to say about the two-dimensional part.
Yeah, me too. Is that a CD, right? Is flat, but it's still three-dimensional. I mean, that's all you were saying in a bunch of words. But no, Bobby, go ahead, man. I don't want to.
Right. That's what I was trying to get. Like when you explain it, like and say that it's not two-dimensional. I don't know if that's like the scientific community trying to like poke jabs at us and say like we dumb and think we like lay down on flat piece of paper. But when we say like flat, I don't think I'm laying down flat, brother. I'm walking like right now. I'm in my house and the basement floor is flat as a motherfucking flat as can be, but it's still 3D. So when you say the universe is flat and stretched out and parallel lines don't meet, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how cities are plotted, brother. Parallel lines don't meet. You know what I'm saying? You got to intersect them with a cross line. So Thank you for breaking down how the universe is flat. Do you know why in the flat universe things tend to take a spherical shape?
Yeah, because of hydrodynamic equilibrium.
Okay, that's a word.
Are you gonna explain that?
Yeah. Just,
one word answers is not explanation. But yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, the reason why things take on a spherical nature is because there is a measurable force that's proportional to the product of two or more masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. This means that any sufficiently large amount of mass will have a force acting outwards from the center equally at all points. This will naturally make things form into a sphere. It's something in science known as the potato radius. It is a consequence of space-time being warped by mass and energy, equaling out in all directions from a center point.
Is the universe itself outside of the rules applied to the things that it creates?
Good question.
The universe's general shape, we don't know the reason why it exists. Just like we don't know what dark energy and dark matter is, or why we can't see 85% of the universe, or why the universe appears to be expanding faster than it was in the past. We don't know the answer to these things. All we know is that when we see things... Let me finish my question. Let me finish my response. All we do know is that when we see things in the universe of mass...
I have a question.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
You're disagreeing with science.
Let me finish. Am I allowed to finish what I'm saying, or are you guys going to let me finish what I'm saying? Guys, you need to let me finish what I'm saying. Can I finish what I'm saying?
You don't know everything. I want to see them. Now let me quit being messy.
The flat Earth. So I have a question for Craig.
I'd love to finish the thing that I was just saying first. Yeah. So. When we see things in the universe that are of mass, those things that are mass have gravitational potential. And that gravitational potential of anything that has mass will form hydrodynamic equilibrium when it reaches a certain amount of mass. So that's why things
in the universe
have a
mass? Wait, because does the universe have a mass?
There will be a total mass of the universe, but we don't know what it is because we can't see most of it.
No, but you don't, but they do. But the overwhelming prevailing scientific consensus says that the universe is flat, expanding outwardly in all directions flat. So by your perception,
it's only flat.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm trying to walk with you because now I just want to understand where your brain at. If the things within the universe reach a mass point to where they start to fold into themselves and form spheres, why doesn't the universe itself adhere to these same rules?
Again, the universe being flat doesn't mean that it's flat. That just means that there's an energy density that is approximately equivalent to 1 across the entire universe. That's it. It's not really a description of its shape, or it's more talking about the geometry of space-time.
Which would be shape,
which would be flat.
Because the energy density of the universe is approximately equivalent to 1, and that's why you can describe the universe as flat, because throughout the entire universe there isn't a massive amount of fluctuations in density. The average density throughout the entire universe is the same. It's approximately equivalent to 1, so we can describe it as flat.
And the Milky Way galaxy is flat as well.
But what's important, right? What's really important is that let me finish this first. What's really important is that the shape of the universe is still a topic of ongoing research, right? The 2019 release of the Planck satellite mission data analysis suggests that the universe could be closed or spherical, but this claim has been disputed and it's still a topic of ongoing debate. We still have much to learn about the universe and its large-scale structure.
I think this is why I'm asking you, brother, because without a flat universe, things like gravity and relativity wouldn't work. So why can't the universe be based in a sphere if the things in it are spherical? Would the space-time, and like how you explain that, like you said, it has a density of 1 and you stretch it out and everything else sit on that. Like when you explain gravity, how the sun is just sitting still in this little background picture of yours, is sitting in the flat space-time.
Oh,
and it's been in that space and allowing the other things to float around it, right?
Yeah, no, this is not. This is just something pretty. That does not represent space at all. This was just me practicing using my editing software, and I thought it looked cool. So ignore that. All right. So,
wow,
I just said, the data from the Planck satellite that was released in 2019 suggests that the actual shape of the universe could be spherical. But the thing about the universe is because the universe is expanding faster than the speed of light, we could never see to the edge of the universe, right? We have an observable universe, which around us is a perfect sphere. But we don't know what's outside that observable universe because it's moving away from us faster than the speed of light. So any light that's emitted from that part of space that's, too far away will never be able to reach us, because even though the light's traveling the speed of light, the space between it is expanding faster than the speed of light.
I get that. So it's expanding in all directions, and you call it flat, but other things that do the same you call spheres. Why is that?
Again, you're getting hung up on the description of flat. That is literally just a description of the average density of the universe.
No, that's what we're talking about.
Hey, fellas,
Wait, don't do that. Don't let him run. Fellas.
Yeah, don't let him run.
In what way did I run?
Y'all got it, because y'all.
I've literally told you that the data from the satellite that we put out in 2019 shows that the universe could be spherical.
I just want everybody to keep one thing in mind. The main thing I think is about this debate is this: regardless of the shape, it's station. The main thing is station. It ain't nothing moving. The only one thing is moving.
Come on,
man.
I know you ain't.
That's a lovely statement you've got. That's a lovely statement,
bro. Don't do me like that.
Bobby, please, Bobby, keep going, Bobby. Please go. Don't let him run, yo. Please.
Right, he just Melvin. You got to mute your mic real quick.
You got it, Bobby.
Hey, real quick though. But listen, how do things in this flat? You say the universe expanding in all directions, flat, or what you would describe as flat, in order to base the it makes sense to describe it as flat, to put the spheres on something's flat, because you wouldn't be able to put the spheres on something spherical.
No, that's not what it means. Again, the context you're missing here. What flat means in the context, it just means that there is no variation in what we see throughout the universe. Right? From our position, the universe appears to be spherical, because we can see equally in all directions around us. But the density distribution of the universe is approximately 1. So we can describe it as flat because the light will travel through space-time in a straight direction. There isn't that much variation throughout the universe for the light to be changed that much. But universe itself, from our position, is still spherical all around us.
Didn't you say that we only get light as it reflects?
Wait. You say the observable universe is spherical, but
because we can see the same distance all around us. That when I say the observable universe, I mean the light that we can see, and for us, we can see the same distance in every single direction. So for us, the universe appears to be a sphere around us in the center, because that's all the light that we can see. We don't know the overall shape of the universe. That's something that I don't think we will ever be able to know.
And I like that. But when you say that it's flat, are you saying like it's flat, like a foundation flat, or it's like...
No. Again,
wait, hold on.
The flat is the description of space-time.
Why describe it as flat and not spherical, and if you describing everything else as spherical?
Okay, again, because the description of flat is referring to space-time and how light will travel through it. Because throughout the entire universe, there isn't that amount of variation. The density is roughly the same everywhere. It's approximately 1. That means throughout that sphere...
Wait, keep saying that.
Let me finish. What?
Because I never went nowhere and said, like I go to Home Depot. I don't know where you get, say, like, purchase something with 1 density. What does that mean, brother? Because you talking to somebody who do construction and shit. What do 1 density mean?
It means that the
how thick
density,
is that? The density is that.
the density is equivalently the same throughout the entire universe. There isn't much variation. So omega will equal 1.
Which would mean what? What dense? How dense would that be?
Nowhere.
Very little.
How dense would that
be? There's not a measurement of the density. What we're saying is that the average density will be the same.
Oh shit, y'all got it, Sanchez.
Hey,
I guess I got him in a corner. That nigga fighting hard. Go ahead.
Guess what? No,
all right. Don't do this. I got him in a corner when I'm trying to answer you.
Good shit. Good sparring here today, man. Let's drop a bomb for the round table.
Yeah.
And salutes to Craig, man, joining us. Let's see who else we got for Craig. Let's go to my brother Sander Squad. Let's go.
What's up, brother?
What's good,
hey,
bro? Salutes.
I got a question for Craig, right? Remember, I think it was yesterday when y'all were doing live, y'all had went to the definition thing, right? And then it said that the moon wasn't physical, right?
What?
So I want to know from Craig, how did they land on the moon if it's not physical?
Well, it is physical.
We already looked it up.
Not if the camera can see through it.
The camera can't see through it. The moon is physical.
Goes through everything up there. Come on, man.
A camera cannot see through the moon. The moon is a physical thing. I've personally bounced a laser off the moon, so I know it's physical.
Can we watch a video real quick?
The moon is not physical.
The moon's definitely physical.
I think with this debate, you guys definitely gonna need like a point of reference for the argue. You know,
the moon is a reflection.
Wait.
No, the moon's a physical thing.
Go ahead,
Bro
Sanchez.
This is gonna go back and forth. What you saying is physical is not physical. Let's give you guys something to argue. Because the brother who's saying is not physical, you're saying that because you saw what I saw. We should show him what we saw and allow him to argue that, because that's what convinced us, instead of us just saying, well, it ain't physical. Because I know you saw this video, this one, didn't you? Watch this. Let's play this one. Stars seen through the moon.
They're hot pixels,
it's just
not stars.
a 4-minute video. And then when he get the floor back, then he can say whatever he want, but we'll have this point of reference there. The dark side of the moon that's supposed to be shaded out, we're gonna still see stars through it. I'm gonna speed it up.
Wow.
Transparent.
It's lovely hot pixels, definitely. Would you like an explanation of it?
Go ahead.
So what you're seeing is hot pixels or stuck pixels on the camera's sensor. Digital cameras, including those used in professional astronomical observations, can sometimes have pixels on the sensors that always read as bright, regardless of the actual light hitting them. This can create appearance of stars where there are none. Additionally, if the camera's exposure is set to make the dark side of the moon visible, any actual stars in the image would be likely overexposed and not appear as distinct points. The way to check if these are actually stars is to try and find out which stars they are and locate those stars on known star maps. What you will find, and which has been done already, is that any of these apparent stars seen through the moon are not stars that can be found on any star map or appear any other time than when looking at the moon with particular equipment. Also, there will be many other videos of the same observations that do not show the stars, showing that this is indeed a hot or stuck pixel on that camera's sensor.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it, because when you compare that right there, right, with also what this simple argument that we can see I'm always make this one here when we bring up the moon. You can see the black sky behind the moon at night. You can see the blue sky behind it at day. Compare that with the fact we can see
I've explained that to you before, bro.
Through the moon. I want you to also share that information with me on other people who, you know, done this experiment, zoomed in, and you know, I always want to allow the counter.
Yeah, I mean, I can show you countless pictures of. Yeah, I can show you countless pictures of the moon where there is no stars to be seen through the dark side. I mean,
I'm talking about what you just said. What he said.
I said that I can show you many videos and pictures of the moon with the dark side where you cannot see stars through it.
I got pictures. I can pull up pictures on Google right now where you can't. Them ain't the ones in question. What's in question is the ones where you can.
Yeah, and the ones where you can are clearly hot or dead pixels, because otherwise you'd be able to see them all the time. And also, like I said, you need to try and find out if those are stars, then they'll be known. We'll know what stars they are. And they're not. They're not stars that are known to be in the sky. And that's the thing. So either they're stars that only appear when you're looking through the dark side of the moon, or it's a result of artifacts of the camera sensor.
But that's not it's explaining. When we looked at the information on it, it said the moon is not physical.
And what information was that? Where did that information come from?
Bro Sanchez can pull it up on that chat thing that they were looking at yesterday.
Yeah, it's probably the person that made the video said that it's not physical.
That's when we was just playing around with Chat GPT, but we ain't gonna make that the like the end all be all, like it just, you know, God though, like it knows the answers and shit. Cause yeah, it's very contradictory. We experiment with it. But yeah, I mean,
well, there you go. That's my answer. It's dead pixels or hot pixels. The moon is definitely physical. You can bounce lasers off of it. It's done all the time. You know, the fact that the moon has craters that have shadows inside of them show that it's a physical thing with shape on the surface.
Craig, is the moon in outer space?
Wait.
One at a time.
If you think you can see shadows on the moon from it's 230 thousand miles away.
Yeah, you can zoom in.
That's amazing, man. But
yeah, you can zoom in on things. Also, that it's quite easy.
Well, he's not gonna. Like I said, man, to me that's amazing. But check this out, y'all. We wanted you to double down and state to the panel what you said, our reasons for being able to see the black sky behind the moon at night and the blue sky behind.
Yeah, it's very simple. We look through our atmosphere.
I want to give them a shot at you.
Okay, so it's very simple. We look through our atmosphere. In the daytime, the sunlight is coming through our atmosphere. The atmosphere scatters the light, so that the one that we see the most is the blue light. So we are looking through the atmosphere, scattering the blue light at the moon. That will give the moon a blue tinge. When we are at nighttime, we do not have that light coming into our atmosphere, scattering to make the blue. So we will see the moon without that blue tinge. So it appears black because the space is black. During the day, it appears blue tinged because our atmosphere is scattering the blue light. Excuse me. There we go. And that's not just my answer, that is the scientific consensus.
In the Earth's atmosphere? NASA says the moon's in the Earth's atmosphere. It's not in outer space.
No, NASA didn't say it's in the atmosphere.
So if that's the case, hold on. I'm going to pass it back to Craig real quick. I'm going to be sure. If that's the case, did we ever go to outer space, Craig?
So no, NASA didn't.
Contradict what you just said.
Okay, so no, NASA didn't.
Outer space
let me finish. Would you like me to respond? Let me respond. Okay, so no, NASA didn't say it's in our atmosphere. What NASA said is that there is a diffuse cloud of hydrogen that is gravitationally attracted to the Earth that reaches all the way out to the moon. It's not within our atmosphere. What we've discovered is that our atmosphere extends a lot further than we thought, but it's not like there's air. It's just a very, very, very diffuse cloud of hydrogen that extends an extremely large distance from the Earth. And when I say diffuse cloud of hydrogen, like
That sounds like an atmosphere.
let me finish. 1 to 2 atoms of hydrogen.
I know I asked you this question, but
let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. When I say diffuse cloud of hydrogen, what I mean. Let me finish what I'm saying. When I say a diffuse cloud of hydrogen, what I mean is 1 to 2 atoms of hydrogen per cubic meter. Okay?
Okay, so check this out. Here's the layers of the atmosphere according to science. Which layer is the moon in? I know Craig gonna say neither.
It's not in any of those layers. It's way further than that.
Huh? Okay, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just pull this up right here. The moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. Let me read this. It says, and it lies about 240,000 miles or 385,000 kilometers away from our planet. Studies suggest that the moon is situated in the exosphere, which is the outermost layer of our planet's atmosphere.
Whoa.
Studies suggest
some studies suggest
in the exosphere right here.
Some studies suggest.
Now listen. Now wait. Let me land here. I didn't suggest that. I didn't make that argument. I just want to hear Craig argue with this source because it ain't me. It ain't us. It's what they saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say I brought that shit up for the record because I'm ready for that smoke.
Yeah, again, that's what one particular source says, but when we say the exosphere is something that can expand a long way, but when we recently discovered that there is more to our atmosphere than we thought, it goes further. Technically the moon could be classed as inside our atmosphere, but it's still an area that is in outer space, that is an area that is past the Kármán line.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Is the exosphere outer space?
Yeah, it's above the Kármán line.
Okay. So Craig just said that the last layer of the atmosphere is outer space, y'all. I thought that was Saturn, Jupiter.
And anything above the Kármán line is considered outer space.
Oh wow. So wait a minute. We're still within Earth's atmosphere, though. We ain't even made it to space yet. The exosphere is still a layer that's within Earth's gravitational pull. It's pulling
everything's within Earth's gravitational pull. Every bit of mass in the universe is attracted to every bit of mass in the universe.
That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying that you saying
right.
That the
so
exosphere's outer space is bananas.
So it is. Anything above the Kármán line is considered outer space. So right. At its closest point of orbit, the moon is 363,300 kilometers from Earth. Well, at its furthest point, it's over 384,400. The exosphere is the uppermost layer of Earth's atmosphere and marks a transitional zone between the atmosphere's lower layers and interplanetary space. The exosphere is composed of various light gases, which include hydrogen, helium, carbon dioxide, and atomic oxygen. At its lowest point, which lies at the upper boundary of the thermosphere and is referred to as the exobase, the exosphere is about 480 kilometers above the terrestrial surface of Earth. The beginning of the exosphere varies, however, and no fixed point can be remarked, leading to the exosphere being roughly characterized by a reading of negligible atomic particle collisions, which reduce continuously the further the exosphere extends into space. At the exosphere's upper boundary, which is technically theoretical, its altitude above our planet is approximately 190,000 kilometers, which is roughly half the distance to the moon. As such, regardless of where the moon is in its orbit, it always lies outside and above our planet's exosphere. However, a recent study showed that exosphere extends further than we thought. Originally, we thought it just went about half the way to the moon. But what we found is that it actually keeps going. It becomes thinner and thinner and thinner. And we found that thinness keeps going even past the moon. So the recent studies showed that the exosphere...
How far does it go?
Well, recent studies showed that it could be as far as 550,000 kilometers away from Earth to still have atomic oxygen and helium having enough of a collision to be classed as a layer of the exosphere. But it's still a practical vacuum at 10 to the negative 17 torr.
Okay, so I just want to say something. All this got to change now, because this is a lie now. And check this out.
No,
right?
not a lie. We update things as we find more.
I just started talking. Wait, I don't let nobody cut you off. Don't
apologies.
Like
I apologize.
Watch
I
this,
apologize.
Right?
Yeah, I apologize.
So check this out, right? This shows us how wide the exosphere is. We don't got to listen to Craig. Now, what Craig is saying is that, guess what? That has changed. We've now found out the exosphere it goes out further than what we thought. So guess what I'm saying? Everything they've been teaching us about it so far, we can't use these models no more. They need to update them, because they showing us how thick and how far the exosphere goes. It's nothing we got to be vague about. It's charts that show you the thickness of it. You can pull this up right now. It show you how far it extends. If you ask Craig, he ain't gonna give you an answer, because he needs some wiggle room to be able to lay his bullshit. What? And my thing is this right here. He's now, because think about what his folks are saying. His folks is saying studies suggest that the moon is situated in the exosphere. The exosphere is still a part of Earth's atmosphere composite. It's a layer of our atmosphere. And you telling me that Earth's atmosphere is span way to like Mars and Venus. That's how far our atmosphere go. Then that's a dramatic change from it just the exosphere just being a few kilometers thick.
Yeah, science updates, and the models have been updated with this new information.
That's a big ass update.
Yeah, science updates all the time. We find new things out, and then we update our knowledge. We didn't know that there was a diffuse cloud of hydrogen and atomic oxygen that far out, but apparently there is.
Anymore.
It's partly accurate. Those are still correct measurements, but we also know that it extends a lot further than we thought. The thing is, science doesn't claim to be complete. We update.
Can we find out later that we wrong about that? Can we find out later that we wrong about this again and it doesn't?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Is that a possibility?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay,
we can find out we're wrong about everything.
Then guess what? Science isn't reliable then, in my opinion, and let me show you why, right? Because if your answer can just change constantly, but the truth doesn't, 2 + 2 is 4. The truth is something that doesn't change. That means what you giving me ain't the truth. You giving me a placeholder, and that can change at any given moment, and it can change dramatically.
Yeah, absolutely. Science it updates. You know, science doesn't claim to ever have concrete answers to everything. Science understands that there will be, there's likely to be a better explanation that comes along. What science can do is give you the current best understanding. Am I allowed to talk, or are you guys just going to jump all over? Hello? Guys, am I allowed to talk? Hello, guys, hello? Am I allowed to respond, or are you just going to jump all over me? Thank you. Right, so science never claims... No, okay, once again...
Craig, give us an update. 2 + 2.
Are you gonna give me 2 minutes to talk, or are you just gonna keep interrupting?
Yeah, update 2 + 2, Craig. First. Go ahead.
So again, that's mathematics, not science. Are you guys gonna let me talk, or are you just gonna keep over talking me? Right. So thank you. Please give me 2 minutes to talk.
Tell us how
no. All right. Right. Okay. I claim I've won this debate then, because you guys won't let me talk.
Take the floor, man.
I'm trying to, but they keep interrupting me.
No one's.
Are you guys gonna be quiet?
We would like to talk.
Yeah, so I'm going to finish. I'm going to say something, and then you can continue, right? Science never claims to have all the answers. Science is well aware that a much better explanation can come along, and then science updates its models, updates its knowledge. 2 + 2 isn't science, that's mathematics. So that's not an equivalent thing. Science, when we find new information, we update our knowledge base with that new information. To not do would be arrogant and ignorant. All right. So just because you guys don't understand how science works.
No. Is science based on mathematics?
No.
Okay, so you don't have none of those mathematical equations that y'all bring up mean nothing.
Science can help us develop mathematical equations, but those equations might be inaccurate, and we may find more accurate equations through science. Mathematics is a language. It can help us describe things. It can give us descriptions of things in science. And it can give us mathematical proofs of things. But science, the ideas in science can always be updated.
Hold on. No, hold on. Let me finish. I want to go to Tennessee Tech University right now. I'm pulling sources today. Mathematics is the science and study of quality, structure, space, and change. Mathematicians seek out patterns, formulate new conjectures, and establish truth, not theories, not explanations, truth, by rigorous deduction from appropriately chosen axioms and definitions. According to Tennessee Tech,
that's mathematics. That's the science of mathematics.
You can argue with Tennessee Tech now.
I'm not arguing. You're not understanding the context here. That's the science of mathematics. Like you have computer science and things like that. You can study things with science. Like there's a study of mathematics, okay? But mathematics isn't science. There is the science of mathematics, just like there's the science of other things. But mathematics is a language.
Science is the base of everything. Hello, Rabbitman. Greetings, everybody. Greetings, panel. Greetings, all the listeners out there. All my love from London.
How you doing, Rabbitman? How you doing?
If science is the base, then everything is science.
Mathematics is the base. It's the base of science. Without mathematics, there is no science.
That's incorrect. You could do it without maths. Maths is just a language that helps describe it.
I'm a biologist. Don't even go there, bro.
Okay, I'm a nuclear engineer, so I can go there if I want.
Mathematics, part of the scientific method is doing experiments, which calls for measurements and calculations of results.
Wait, Randall. We gotta let other people.
You can have science without maths.
I know, even though I'm the one that started all the topics. But yeah, I'm done.
Hold on, brother. I got 20 people on, and I gotta get them all in. Let's go.
Hi there, greetings. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to ask Craig a question I've been trying to get on for a long time. Okay, Craig. So you believe in a vacuum? So what is the vacuum contained in space?
The universe.
It has to be contained in something. Like a vacuum flask.
Yeah, the universe.
Why is your vacuum contained? Okay,
it's contained in the universe. Yes.
How comes everything is not sucked up into the vacuum?
Because vacuums don't suck.
Why do we have the Earth atmosphere with helium and all the other gases and everything? Why do we have that? Because you don't believe in the firmament, do you?
Belief is irrelevant.
There is no
gravity is the answer. The answer is gravity. That's the answer.
We really don't want to go into beliefs with this whole debate.
No, I'm asking him, how does it contain the vacuum? And
the universe is the container.
Okay.
Okay, the second question. Okay, can you go on to ChatGPT, get Bobby, hi Bobby. Can you get Bobby to go on ChatGPT and ask him at what vibration, at what decibel does the calcium in the bone, melt?
Okay, so watch this. This is what we can do. Mute your mic, Rabbit Man. Hey, Bobby K, real quick. Watch this, right? Watch this, right? Because I want to speed this forward, man.
Hell no.
Whatever he's saying, pull up. Let's do that and go to the next
doing here?
Call or whatever. Well, hold on.
Do you want me to respond to anything he said, or?
And I think we should leave ChatGPT. Well, I'm not gonna make no rules.
Is that what he want? He want the ChatGPT.
I've got ChatGPT 4, which is better than the basic one that you use. So we could ask that questions if you like. I've even updated mine to be able to connect to the internet in real time.
The moon has all the answers. The moon has all the
answers. I got something real quick to say.
The moon has all the answers.
I've asked all the questions.
I'll be real quick, Sanchez.
Go ahead. I'm a Ruku.
I'm still with this other guy that was talking about the container and stuff. Am I allowed to respond to him?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the universe is the container. It contains everything in the universe. The reason we have an atmosphere on Earth is because gravity creates a force proportional to the product of total mass and inversely proportional to the square root of the distance between them, which means the mass of the atmosphere is attracted to the mass of the Earth. There you go.
Okay. Did you ask ChatGPT ask ChatGPT the simple question: at what decibel, at what level of decibels does your bone melt? The calcium in your bones, at what decibel level does your bones melt? It's a simple question.
Yeah, I'm asking it. Calcium in your bones melt.
I've never used
decibels measure. Right, I'll read
when
you the decibels measure the intensity of sound, not heat or temperature, so they can't cause anything to melt, including calcium or bones. Melting is a phase transition from a solid to a liquid
ask
state.
him that simple question.
I just asked ChatGPT the very question.
Level?
Yeah, I just asked ChatGPT that question. I am reading you the answer from ChatGPT.
Okay, go on. I didn't hear you.
Right. So I asked ChatGPT, at what decibel does the calcium in your bones melt? And this is ChatGPT's response. Decibel measures the intensity of sound, not heat or temperature. So they can't cause anything to melt, including...
it can't cause anything.
Am I allowed to... Are you going to interrupt me every time I'm talking? Or, you've got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Use them in that ratio. Right. So melting is a phase transition from a solid to a liquid state, which requires heat. For example, pure calcium has a melting point of about 842 degrees Celsius. In theory, high-intensity sound waves can cause heating effects due to the vibrations they cause in a medium. However, the heat produced by even extremely loud sounds is minimal and would not be nearly enough to melt bone or calcium. In practical terms, the sound intensity required to cause harm to the human body is much lower than what would be needed to cause heating effects. Prolonged exposure to sound levels above 85 decibels can cause hearing damage. But no. So, what was your point there?
Okay, what are the decibel levels when you're taking off in a spacecraft? What are the decibel levels there? Do you think any human being, any animal could survive that?
If they're inside it, which is contained from a lot of the sound, then probably,
in a little aluminium case in 1969.
Yeah? Why wouldn't they be able to?
Survive that? Do you think they can survive that? So
what evidence do you have that they couldn't survive that?
Where is the operation systems? It's 5 miles away from the launch pad, isn't it? 5 miles away.
Yeah. Okay, you're jumping around here. Why couldn't they survive that? Please answer the question.
They cannot survive it.
Please, you're just saying a thing. You're saying a thing. Now give me the reason why. Right, what you're doing. Right, hello, I'm talking. I'm talking. Right, you are saying a thing, but you're not giving a reason why.
Hey, Amaruku, I can't rush. Craig is dealing with this how he dealing with it. He wanted to finish sparring with Rabbit Man. All right, whenever he ready to go to you. So,
Rabbit Man, you've made the claim that they wouldn't be able to survive this. Can you please substantiate that claim?
That's what I'm asking you. If you can pull it up on the internet, because I can't link up anything. My computer's not linked up.
This is your claim. So why could they not survive it?
Because they wouldn't be able to survive it. The sound, it would explode your eardrums. All your organs inside would melt.
Could you please provide evidence for that? It just said that decibels can't do that. So
you can just check it up on the internet. What would happen to you if you were when you go to a speaker. When you go to a speaker in a nightclub, can you see the vibrations that you have through the speakers? Imagine when you're you inside a little aluminium foil. You're in a little aluminium cage where the launch is actually happening.
Right. Okay.
Do you think
what I'm going to do to you? I'm going to finish this conversation. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this conversation with you and with this next thing that I say. So, while rockets are extremely loud during launch, astronauts are well protected from this noise within the spacecraft. Here is how. Number 1, distance. The astronauts are located far from the source of the sound. The rocket engines, the sound intensity decreases significantly with distance. They're at the top, the rocket's at the other side. Insulation. Number 2. The crew capsule of a rocket is designed to protect its occupants from harsh conditions of launch, including sound. The walls of the capsule are insulated and absorb much of the sound energy. Number 3. Protective gear. Astronauts wear helmets and other protective gear during launch, which also help dampen the sound. Number 4. Communication systems. Astronauts use
What was the
headphones with
material
built-in
made of?
microphones for communication. These headphones also act as ear protection, reducing the level of noise that reaches the astronauts' ears. While astronauts do experience a significant amount of noise during a rocket launch, these measures ensure that it is a safe level and won't cause hearing damage or discomfort. The major concern during launch is not noise, but rather the extreme forces, measured in Gs, exerted on the astronaut's body. There you go. There's your answer. Next question, please.
Okay, can you ask it another question? Is there any
No, I'm done.
bunkers
So there's other people here, dude. Let's move on now.
Is there any bunkers underneath the launching pads?
I don't know. It's irrelevant.
Are there
So
any
let's move on.
bunkers underneath the launching pad?
I have no idea, and it's irrelevant to the question. I think the next person
Can you
should
ask
get a
the
chance
GBT?
I'll tell you what. You can ask it in your own time. Let's move to the next person now.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a question, guys. I've been waiting.
Yeah, please.
All
Hello.
right,
How are you doing?
I'll be quick for you. I'll be quick, guys. So here's the question to you, Craig. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Sanchez, and everyone else. So the part of science that you're a part of, because I went to school for engineering, and that doesn't mean much. I'm just letting you know where I'm coming from. But the part of science you're a part of is called theoretical science, which is why you're able to jump around with all your theories. And the thing is, we are bound to the laws of nature. You're not. So you can jump around and say this, say that. And the thing is, you would have, if you were anyone else, if you were not Sanchez's close friend, you would have been disqualified a long time ago, because you haven't produced one example, one scientific method to demonstrate that, number one, the Earth is a sphere.
Facts.
The sun is outside of our
I've done that.
atmosphere.
Yeah. I have done that plenty of times.
Everything you're, allow me, guys, allow me. Everything you're explaining right now is part of theoretical science. Let me read it to you.
Nothing I explained there is theoretical. Nothing I explained is theoretical.
Sir, please.
Allow him to finish.
I was respectful to you, sir. So, like I said, if you were anyone else, you would have been disqualified a long time ago. Theoretical science.
Disqualified by what?
Scientists who hold on. These are the scientists who develop new theories and hypotheses to explain natural phenomena. That's you. You're allowed to do that.
Thank you.
We're not allowed to do that.
Why are you saying that to me? I'm not a theoretical scientist in any way.
Sir, I'm almost done.
Get him.
Okay? Sanchez has shown you I've been listening to you for like almost a week now. And every single time, you're allowed to jump outside of boundaries that exist for us, but doesn't exist for you. So this is how you're able to come on this panel and just keep spewing nonsense.
I haven't done that once. Again, I don't know what you're talking about. You're making stuff up.
Listen. It's good nonsense. It's good nonsense. The problem is,
dude, I think you might be talking about somebody else. I actually think you might be talking about somebody else. So I'm nothing to do with theoretical sciences. I have a degree in physics and a degree in nuclear engineering. I am responding to him. I'm responding to him now. So I'm nothing to do with theoretical sciences. I am an engineer. My 2 degrees are, number 1, physics, number 2, nuclear engineering, energy systems, and fission technology. Real physical things, nothing to do with theoretical sciences. I don't make
what you're
stuff
saying
up.
has nothing to do with practical science, sir.
Well, no, everything
sorry.
everything I say when I'm giving evidence for the shape of the Earth is backed up by practical science.
With a practical experiment that holds true to the scientific method. Do that.
Yeah. Okay. So I've talked about this many times, and Foucault's pendulum does exactly that.
No. I meant water being on a sphere. And
water being on. What about? Sorry, water being. What are you talking about? Water being on a sphere?
Yeah, water being on a sphere.
Curving water.
Able to, and
being able gravity.
To move freely
I've shown that gravity exists.
And everything like that.
Yeah, I've shown that gravity exists. So that's the predictions of gravity.
No.
That's the free measurement magic.
Density and buoyancy.
No, it's buoyancy is a result of gravity. Density is nothing on its own.
This guy is allowed to be theoretical.
Nothing I do is theoretical. Everything I do I can back up. You're just saying lies about me.
Go ahead, boss.
Let me say something real quick. He's allowed to come up here and represent his movement his own way. What you see is what you get. He's allowed to come here and be him. And that's going to be recorded by the judges in a debate. If that worked to the flat earth benefit, then we should clap when he do it. You know what I'm saying? So let's everybody calm down and let's just make some arguments and rebuttal them. Let's stick with the science.
I got some chat GPT questions. Let's go ahead. Everybody
I have a legit
okay, so
question.
I'm gonna do that in a minute for you, Bobby. I'm actually what I'm gonna do. If Craig is up for a battle, right? We can let
That's what I want to see. If he asks the questions and I ask questions, if we get two different.
I want to see y'all battle it out with the Chat GPT because he use it too. I want to see.
Can I ask a question first?
Dang, Melvin, can you be
my
patient?
bad. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead, ball. Go ahead. Do your thing.
So check this out, man. I wanted to see y'all brothers do the flat versus globe on the Chat GPT shit, but I don't know if y'all up to it. I'm just being messy.
Yeah, we can do that another time if you want. I think we should just stick to questions from your crew for now.
Yo, Craig.
Yo.
Craig, this question's for you, buddy. Now, the moon has reflections on it. The moon is a reflection. Now, why is it showing
reflected? We can see reflected light from the moon, yes.
Hold on a second. Why is the moon showing reflections of continents that's here on Earth?
It's not.
Yeah, we can't
continents don't look anything like the shapes on the moon.
Yeah, man, you shouldn't have went there.
I got this
come
right.
on, Bobby.
I hate to do it. I just put Melvin in the back chat, man. I ain't gonna lie. The man, I know
understand
that.
the moment.
Listen, the reason why is because the brother keep cutting in right with everybody, and it's already a lot of chaos. And the shit that he'll come with don't be worth the cut in for real. It like the moon can see the Earth planets on it. We can't prove that. You don't do that in a fucking legitimate flat
over
Earth
here don't
globe
even agree
debate,
with
man.
that. Yeah,
right, can I just take 2 minutes to go and use the loo? Make sure my kids are in bed. All right, so I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Okay, guys.
Cool. You got it.
I'm gonna put an advert on my channel
on the chat
so by clicking this button.
To see if he get different results than I get.
Hey, Sanchez, I have a suggestion for you if you don't mind listening.
You talking to me, Armin?
No, Bro Sanchez.
No, let the brother talk. Let the brother talk. He's been waiting patiently.
Okay. So,
I was talking about you, bro.
Oh, so, thanks. Bro Sanchez, so I had a suggestion for you. So because right, there's this massive fight between belief systems and practical systems, things that we can prove. What you should do, in my opinion, this is your channel, is when Craig comes on or someone else comes on, just like in a debate or a fight, you should categorize them. Say, hey, Craig, would you consider yourself a theoretical scientist or practical scientist? If he says practical, then say, okay, then hold him to that. If he says theoretical, then we can let him do his thing. You know what I mean? That way he can't jump in and out, because this is similar to white supremacy. They have rules that applies for them, and then other people who have to abide by the law have to abide by the law. Meanwhile, people who can escape the law, they can do whatever they want, and this is what he's doing.
Hey, brother, let me explain something to you. In a debate, it's really gonna boil down who can prove the shape of the Earth, and we know that the shape of the Earth is practical, like flat Earth is practical science. That's how level work, compass work. We can get into practical usage of things that we use based on flat Earth. Now, as far as trying to debate him on and hold him to choose like practical versus theological, I bounce in between the two. Right, I bounce in between the flat Earth practical science. Water doesn't hold the shape of a sphere. Boom, boom, boom. Density. Right. I that's practicality. But then I'll go into like, hey, maybe the creator. The moment you say creator, you know we go on the theoretical now. But see, ain't nothing wrong with that, and that's what my argument was about mainstream science. How they separated and got like the church dealing with the theology and the spiritual side. In a real normal world, physics and spirituality would be one subject where we see the unseen and seen, see how they interwoven together, how they connected together. And I think that's a gift that the ancestors had that we don't got today.
Hey, yo, bro,
referring to that, brother.
Hold on for a second. Hold on 1 second. I just got to say one thing. The one thing that's gonna kill Craig, now he says that the Earth is a sphere, right? But if you Google, if is Earth a square, right? It says it is.
No,
So I
Google
just don't
does
get
not
it. So
say
how can
Earth
it
is
be
a square.
and be a sphere at the same time? But if
I'm
you
going to Google
is
right
Earth
now, is Earth a square, and
Earth
see
a
what
square?
comes up.
Yes.
Is Earth
Google
a
is Earth a
square?
square, and it says it is.
Nope.
I'll be
So I just
just
Googled
Google
the
it.
question, is Earth a square? And let me show you what come up. So this is what we get. Is Earth a square? The Earth is an irregularly shaped ellipsoid. Nowhere does it say the Earth is a square. I don't know what you've been using, but I don't think it was Google.
Yeah, I got what Craig got too, man. I ain't gonna cap. Yeah. But
Hey,
listen.
Craig.
But listen, let's not
Yo.
make our arguments based upon like that. Let's take a different approach real quick. Let me pass it around. Go ahead. After random, we're gonna go to J Dub if he wanted.
Hey, we got a barber show going on here. I just noticed someone getting their hair done.
Hey, no, man, y'all can keep going, man. I'm gonna save mine for the debate for whoever called me out, man, because I already made my points. So go ahead, man.
Hey, Craig.
Yo.
I was gonna ask you, because like I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm completely a flat earther or nothing like that, but as far as how the sun shines and we got a cold spot in Antarctica, and then the hot spots don't match up with how the map is drawn out.
What?
So, like if you look at the map and you got the northern part of Russia, Canada, you got Antarctica. Why is it that the sun can shine down in all those places and you got some hot spots? It doesn't make sense for it to be hot. I have to pull up a map to show you, but it doesn't make sense. I know you know what I'm talking about.
What do you mean by a hot spot?
The screen share unlocked. Yeah, it's unlocked.
Do you mean like when you can, you're looking at a picture from space and you can see a reflected area?
No, I'm not talking about a reflected area.
What do you
got
mean?
Brazil next to what is it?
Well, Brazil is in the south, not the north. Are we talking about the Arctic or the Antarctic?
I know that, but it's next to ice cap. How is it cold right there, and Brazil is just a few miles away from it?
Brazil is not a few miles away from Antarctica. The southern Brazil is actually quite cold. You do know that southern Brazil is quite cold, right?
And be that warm in Brazil. But it doesn't make sense for how
the entirety of Brazil isn't warm.
There.
Would you like me to answer the question? Southern Brazil is pretty damn cold. The entirety of Brazil isn't hot. The south of Brazil down here is pretty cold, just like the southern Argentina. I mean, it's warm up here near the equator because Brazil is massive, but down here it's pretty cold. So I don't understand your question. Not all of Brazil is hot all the time.
Right.
Plus, the tip of the southern point of Brazil is about 1,200 miles from Antarctica.
Yeah, the sun is 93 million miles.
Correct. Nice statement of fact there.
Let's go to Jack.
No, it debunks you.
Not in the slightest.
Yeah, 93 million miles, the temperature wouldn't change 1,000 miles away.
Incorrect. It's to do with the tilt of the Earth and energy per square meter.
Bro, that doesn't make any sense.
See what I'm saying, guys? He's using theory again to push.
No, this is a fact, not theory. I explained this in a.
How is it gonna make it any colder in one area? Like, what's happening to the light waves? If light is coming there and it's warming up the Earth, my first question is, how would that part of Brazil be cold and the other part warm if it's just a tilt? Like, if I tilt a basketball and I have a light shining on it, the other part is gonna, you feel me? It's not gonna be randomly warm in one spot and randomly cold in one spot. It's gonna be
Exactly.
Correct.
So,
and the rays are supposed to be coming in.
One at a time. One at a time. Okay, so this is very simple, and it's to do with the amount of energy covering a certain area, right? So let me put myself full screen so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, sorry, just broken that. Right, so here is the Earth. The Earth's kind of tilted like that, all right? The sunlight coming in from here. It's hitting that point directly, all right? So that point there is getting direct. That amount of the Earth, all right, is having that amount of energy hit it, all right? But if you go south, it's not completely a circle anymore. That circle becomes an oval the further you go south. The same amount of energy has to cover a larger area, which means that per square mile on the Earth, less energy is being received because the same amount of energy has to cover a larger area because it's curving away from the Earth, from the direction of the sun. So more energy covering a smaller area equals more heat, which is what you get at the equator. The same amount of energy covering a larger area means less heat, which is what you get when you move away from the equator.
Tilted.
Sorry?
Excuse me, right there, though. I want everybody to look at what I got on the screen and I ain't even gonna talk. I'm just gonna sit that there.
And that's proving my point, actually.
In relation to weather. Now, guess what? I'm gonna just sit that there right there now. I'm gonna just sit this here
maybe
right
you need
here,
a visual. I actually made a video for Professor Dave to explain this from his...
I've seen that video, bro. That video is illogical. Because if you're telling me
my video makes perfect sense,
lit up and you got a ball of gas and electromagnetic energy that's 1,000 times well, not 1,000 times. I forget the exact math, but it's well over the size of the Earth. Why would it be one small circle that's only heated? That's illogical. Like, I get that.
Let me get up the explanation that I used for Professor Dave, and I will show you. All right, so give me 1 second, and let me get this explanation up for you.
I could debunk you, Craig. Let me know when you're ready.
You can't debunk me. You can get things wrong and say that you've debunked me, but you can't.
When I'm next, I'll let you share. When I'm next,
bro.
Hey, Craig, in your own words, Craig, science doesn't prove anything. Remember?
I'm gonna tell you, the equator can't be the hottest place on Earth if we're on a globe, and that's basically what Craig's saying. He said, "Well, it's not the hottest place on Earth."
Right. So here we go. Listen to this explanation.
Simple enough for even flat earthers to understand. The solar energy that reaches Earth from the sun isn't spread over the Earth evenly. If we consider a circle of light coming from the sun and hitting Earth at the equator, and compare that to a circle of light the same size hitting the Earth further north or south, you can see the same amount of light has to cover more of the surface for the areas of the Earth that are tilted away from the sun. In other words, the surface of the Earth at the areas tilted away from the sun receive less energy per square meter than areas pointing directly at the sun. This is the reason we have seasons, because the tilt in Earth's rotational axis does not change as we orbit the sun, meaning everything that tilts toward the sun at one point in the year is tilting away from the sun 6 months later. Weiss made the ridiculous argument that at night when the sun goes down, or in the morning as it's rising, it should be as cold as the Arctic, because the sun is only offering a direct circle of light at midday, and at those other times, even at the equator, the sun's energy has to spread further, just like with the seasons. Of course, everyone knows that it is indeed colder at sunrise and sunset than at midday, but the main point Weiss can't grasp is that the entire area for a given latitude is still receiving more energy than the areas tilting away. It's not going to be as cold as the Arctic because the average energy received throughout the day is a lot more than the average energy received at the areas tilting away from the sun, which remain at that oblique angle for many months at a time, rather than just a few hours. We also have to understand that the surface of the Earth and the atmosphere retain and radiate back a large portion of the energy received during the day, which keeps these areas warmer overall.
There we go. There is an extremely good explanation that I wrote for Professor Dave.
Let me say something. Wait a minute. Let me say something about that. Here's what's wrong with that. Just like you saw in his model, it's a problem with that. That on a globe, up here supposed to be one of the coldest places on Earth, but that's what's actually tilted toward the sun the most. That don't make no sense.
No, it's tilting away from the sun, not towards.
Hold on. No. This part is tilting away down here. This part is tilting toward the sun. It's literally bowing its head toward the sun right here.
Yeah, but you need to look at the surface area that's pointing towards the sun.
Hold on. Why can't I finish, brother? Why can't
Sorry, I
finish,
apologize.
Here. So this is how they portrayed the weather data. They didn't have the tilt of the Earth into account when they was giving us the temperature. But trying to wrap this data. They basically took it from
Further
a flat
north
Earth
or
with the
south.
actual temperature data and wrapped it around the globe, but it don't make no sense. And they're trying to make the equator the hottest spot, like what the brother was arguing. And look, that would be South America, all these places right here, right? And then, like Craig was saying, it'll actually get cold down here as you go to this part. But this would only work if the Earth ain't tilted. Once we tilt it, that don't still make sense at all. You see what I'm saying? Now you got the top of the Earth leaning toward the sun, where actually it was just pointed up.
So if you look at my screen now, it's showing that both the top and the bottom is curving away, which means that the top and the bottom, as you move away from the equator, north and south, both of them will have light hitting a larger area, but the same amount of light, because it's curving away. Right? You understand that? It's curving away from the source of the light.
But
right, and I'm just responding to Brother Sanchez, so please be quiet and let me respond to Brother Sanchez. Yeah, excuse me. Hello, I'm talking. Hello, I'm in the middle of responding to Brother Sanchez. So once I'm done, then you can talk. Thank you.
I mean, you never answer my question.
If you excuse me, if you would like me, I'm in the middle of responding to Brother Sanchez. Then we'll get back to you, because I did answer your question very succinctly. As we can see, both north and south of the equator, the Earth is curving away from the direction of the light. So there will be a larger area for the light to cover, both north and south, as you can see in the graphic that I'm showing on my screen.
When you say the Earth is curving away from the source of the light.
Well, look at my screen, right? This directly
I see
on.
one side tilting toward it and one side tilting away from it at all times. Based on
so
this,
look at the rays of light that are hitting those areas, right? Both north and south, the rays of light will have to cover a larger area. You see that?
This makes no sense, brother.
It makes perfect sense. You not understanding it doesn't matter. This makes perfect sense.
Here's what I'm saying. You can't have polar caps on a globe.
Well, you
because
can,
it's
because
not.
of this.
Think about it. You just can't. If you pull up the weather, this is what he's ignoring. If you pull up the temperature data for a globe and the heat maps, which I'm about to do, you'll see the argument I'm making. He's pulling up Professor Dave video. That ain't a professor.
I made that video. Just so you know, I made that video.
Okay. Cool. So let me pull.
Oh, sorry.
Yo.
Who was that? Hold on, but we got a bunch of people that ain't spoke before. Let's hear from Rezo real quick. Masquerader. Salutes.
Hey, what's going on, man? How y'all doing? Just got a quick question for Craig right quick, because he be bringing up NASA.
I didn't bring up NASA.
When NASA landed on the moon, right, and they planted that flag, 1969, whatever year that was.
Yo.
There was wind, right? There was wind flying, or the flag was waving, right?
No, it wasn't waving. It just, because they moved it, it had motion.
Okay, but I was still seeing the flag. Okay, if there was no wind or no air, shouldn't the flag be, how can you say, facing towards the moon? But instead,
why should it be facing towards the moon?
It's acting like there's some wind or something that's uplifting it when they took their hands off. So I just had a question about that, really.
So when they put the flag on the moon, they were moving it. They gave it motion, and because there's no air or to cause friction against the flag, that wave of energy just kind of continued in the flag, because there's nowhere for it to go. There's no friction for it to stop.
So the motion that they caused on that flag is what caused it to appear like it was waving?
Right. So the apparent waving of the American flag during... Let me answer. I'll give you a succinct answer right now, if you like. The apparent waving of the American flag during the Apollo moon landing... I'm talking. If you let me... Please let me talk. Stop. Let me talk.
I want you to stop, brother. I would listen what I want y'all to do. Make your argument and allow others to make theirs. All the fat and emotional, let's trim that. I got a bunch of people want to debate the shape of the earth. Let's go, guys.
The apparent waving of the American flag during... let me finish. Excuse me. I'm responding to a question. Please, calm down. The apparent waving of the American... every time I talk, you open your mouth. Be quiet and listen, please.
Hey, listen. Let's disregard what he's saying and go to someone else. I had to go and put him out.
I'd like to respond to that, if I could, without being interrupted, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Right. The apparent waving of the American flag during the Apollo moon landings has been a source of confusion and even conspiracy theories. However, there's a straightforward explanation. The moon has no atmosphere, and therefore no wind to make a flag flap. So to make the flag stand out for the cameras, NASA designed a special flag and flagpole. The flagpole had a horizontal crossbar so the flag wouldn't just hang down. When the astronauts were planting the flag, they rotated the pole back and forth to better penetrate the lunar soil, which turned out to be quite compact, and this caused the flag to move or wave. After the astronauts let go of the flag, it would have quickly stopped moving. However, because of Moon's low gravity and lack of air resistance, the flag would have taken longer to settle than it would have on Earth, which may have given the impression of it waving. Any subsequent moving of the flag in the Apollo footage would have been due to the astronauts touching the flag or the flagpole. Once they moved away, the flag would have remained perfectly still in the airless lunar environment. There we go.
Well, if they went to the moon with equipment, right? They had cameras and everything on them.
Yes.
What were those cameras made of to go through the Van Allen belt and then come back through the Van Allen belt?
Man, I wanted to address exactly what he said, brother.
They put
one at a time.
Like that, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. It's just you're doing too much. I keep saying that. Let's go, man.
So the main cameras that NASA took were designed by Hasselblad, and they did design them with extra casing and stuff to protect the film from the effects of radiation. The main thing, though, is that NASA knew where the Van Allen belts were, and they designed their missions to go through the least strong part of the Van Allen belts and to spend the least amount of time in the Van Allen belt, so the amount of radiation that the astronauts and the equipment got was very, very minimal. Even if they went through the strongest parts of the Van Allen belt, the majority of the radiation is alpha, which can be blocked by a lot of the things that they had on there. So
I wish you didn't even take that long for that. To me, that's a question that, as a flat earther, we got way better debaters. A lot of these people hogging up the mic are not making good arguments for the flat earth. And
I know. I just like to respond to everything that I'm given.
Being unbiased about the shit.
Bro, I got to say, I do appreciate the fact that you haven't muted me and stuff, and you let me respond. I very much appreciate that. Thank you.
No doubt.
Shit, I want to make a good argument of what he just said.
Go ahead, man.
All right. How can we everything that you're saying about even what you just said and how we land on the moon, all this stuff is precise mathematics. Like you can't get this stuff wrong. Like, hold on. Just let me finish my thought and then you can respond. This is precise mathematics. These are things you can't get wrong. We're sending people in orbit. We're sending satellites out. This is precise mathematics. But earlier, Craig, you described that a lot of the elements, 85% of space of which we don't understand. How are we creating equipment to have 100% success? Because that's what we need in an 85% unknown environment. I just want to ask that, though.
The 85% mass of the universe doesn't really affect us on a solar system scale. We're aware of what the mass is.
We don't know. If we don't know about it, how do you know if
because the mass, we know what the mass is in our solar system. The dark energy and dark matter, that's way out there between galaxies and stuff. The mass of the solar system is something that is well known, and orbital mechanics are something that are well known. So dark matter and dark energy and that 85% missing mass doesn't affect us on a local scale.
So you're saying within each solar system there is no dark matter?
Well, I'm not saying there is no dark matter, but the effects of it will be so minuscule. No, I didn't. I said that the effects would be so minuscule that they wouldn't really affect us on a local level, like in the solar system.
But that's a claim, though. How would you verify that claim? That's a claim from you, right?
Because we know we know what's in our solar system. We've measured it.
No, but okay. So hold on. All right. Now, according to what you said, then how do we know about dark matter in itself, whether it's 85% or minuscule, like you say, it's in our galaxy? How much do we know about the subject dark matter in itself?
Again, we don't really know much about dark matter. We can just see by looking at observations out in the universe. Let me respond. Okay? What we see with dark matter and dark energy affects the universe on a large scale. It's not something that affects us in the solar system, because it's not causing, our local space to expand in the same way that we see on a grand scale of the universe. Things like dark matter and dark energy are something that affect the universe on a large, grand scale. On a local scale, like we have in our solar system, gravity is the prevailing force that affects what is going on.
Okay, so, and I'm gonna leave it at here because I don't want to keep being long-winded. It seems like we're gonna go back and forth. So my argument is, I'm not saying the scale of, because what I'm saying is you can't argue the effects of something that you're admitting that you don't understand, no matter what the percentage of. And you went on a long tangent when you were talking about dark matter and the effects of it, and you were saying, well, we don't know. Like I was saying earlier, you always say we, like NASA, but we don't know. But now you're telling me that they do know that it doesn't have an effect upon observation, even though it's observing something they don't know anything about. Because if I asked you to give me a little breakdown, if I gave you the mic and give me a 5-minute breakdown of dark matter, you wouldn't have a lot of information because you don't know, but you do know that it doesn't have any effect. But go ahead though, and I'm done.
Again, the effects of dark matter can be seen on a grand universal scale. They aren't something that is observable on a local level.
Wow.
Well, I think my question was good, so I just wanted to prove a point that I got good questions. That shit sounds stupid as hell, but go ahead.
No, I wouldn't talk. For the most part, we winning, man. Hey, salutes to Willie North Pole, man. Let's go ahead and clap it up and drop a bomb, man, to my brother Willie North Pole, man. We got to.
Next.
Salutes. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he got a set. He's waiting on his mic, I think, to oh, okay, damn, you on mute. He's on mute. You on muted. Salutes to that brother, man. How you doing, my brother?
I just had one quick question and I'm out.
Yo.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to know, how does a ball tilt at the same time while it's tilted? It's flying through space at these random speeds. And it's still keeping everything in place. I get what he's gonna say. He's probably gonna say gravity, but that can't be the only source.
So
I'm just trying to figure that out.
When we're talking about the tilt, we're talking about the axis that it rotates about. Okay, so let me put myself full screen so I can explain this a bit better. Oh, why is my computer going so blooming slow? Probably because I didn't know what I was doing when I replaced the RAM. Sorry, 1 second.
Hey.
There we go.
All right.
Come on. Right. So, if it was like this, right, and it's orbiting around this point, all right, it would be straight up. But it's like this, and it's orbiting around that point. So when we're talking about the tilt, we're talking about the axial tilt that it's rotating around, okay? It's not like that. It's like that and rotating like that, all right?
Okay, I see what you mean.
So and as for how it stays like that,
to the land that we're on, basically.
Well, the tilt is relative to the rotation of the Earth, right? So it's, when you're talking about something rotating, it's going around a point. So if you imagine a pole straight through the Earth, like that, well, in fact, if I
you can see
like
the same amount of light.
So you see the wrong bit. Oh, I went too far. So you see how the Earth has got that pole through it, right? That is the point that it will rotate around. There's no pole in real life. That's just to show what the axial tilt is. It rotates around that pole. And it stays like that mainly because of centrifugal acceleration and the fact that there's nothing to force it back. There's no reason for it to all of a sudden not have a tilt. The orbit is gravity.
How does it stay like that though forever? Like, why?
Because there's nothing to
never
change it.
Randomly. Like,
I mean, it does actually change. The tilt processes slightly over time. It's not always perfectly like that, which is why the North Star isn't always Polaris, because the axial tilt actually does this. You know, so it's not always the same. But for it to stop being tilted, there would have to be some force applied to it. And in space, there is no force. There's nothing that would force the Earth to all of a sudden not be tilted.
Not gravity?
Well, no, gravity wouldn't force it not to be tilted. The gravity is just
No,
making it
but you
in
said
orbit.
there's no force in space. I'm saying not gravity.
No, I said there's no
Gravity
force that
could
would cause
definitely
it to
affect
not
the
be
tilt
tilted.
of the Earth, especially if a large mass enters the Earth's orbit or the orbit of our solar system. So that definitely can happen.
So the gravitation, gravitation of the sun and everything, it's all balanced out, and the fact that the Earth is orbiting with that tilt means that over billions of years, gravity has made it settle into that particular orbit with that particular tilt. Just like if you look at our moon compared to Earth, we only see one side of it because it's what's called tidally locked. And that's because the gravity of the Earth tugs on the moon as it orbits us, which over billions of years has made it wobble back and forward and eventually set into this tidal locking of the face always being towards us.
How convenient.
If you say convenient, that's just facts.
Man.
Facts can be convenient, you're right.
Look, salute to everybody on the call, man. I'm gonna keep the mic moving, man. I'm just saying, yo, this is a real religion at this point, man. Salute to y'all, brothers. Like I said, salute to the brother Willie Northpole.
Hey, salute to you, bro. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, bro.
Hey, I got to, first of all, bro, I want to tell you, I haven't missed one show. I've been under the alias William Adams on there. I lost my other email, like I told you. So that been me in the chat under William Adams. Just so you know, I've been following up with everything.
Okay.
Also,
to rinse you up.
Yeah, please, brother. Thank you. Craig, pleasure to meet you. I must say, you have an answer for everything, bro. Like since I've known you, since I heard of you.
Hey, you know what? My wife says the same thing.
For you. I'm sorry?
My wife says the same thing, that I've got an answer for everything.
I believe you, Craig. Trust me. But you do give my brother a hard time. He does dust you every single time, but I see why he brings you back. And that's why I love bro, because he ain't scared to spar with you. Because, bro, you got to answer for every damn thing. But I have one question for you, bro. Craig, why don't chemtrails curve?
Whoa.
There's no such thing as chemtrails, but what do you mean, why don't they curve?
Why, like when I see the chemtrails in the sky, I would think that they would be curving over something, correct? Shouldn't they be like making like a McDonald's sign or something? I'm not sure what scientifically, but I just feel like all I see is straight lines all the way out.
I mean,
should they curve around the horizon, or around?
You see them disappear. They don't. There's a horizon and they'll be gone, right? But the planes that fly above us are. If you take the size of the Earth, the planes are really, really close to us. So very much like, it's very hard for you to see the curve yourself because the Earth is so big. The same with the contrails that planes create. They're very close to us. So it's very hard to see them curving, with the atmosphere. But the fact that they will disappear into the horizon and then not be there anymore shows that they are going behind the physical obstruction.
Wow.
Craig.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah,
Did y'all
wrong.
hear that?
Shouldn't the curve be more pronounced closer to the surface of the Earth?
Wow, bro.
No, we're close to the Earth.
Yeah, you messed up, Craig. You messed up big time.
Not in the slightest. You just didn't understand it. That's not my fault. That's
Hey, Craig, you can't let a rookie come in here and get you, bro.
Rocket trails,
bro.
Rocket trails curve, but the closer plane trails don't.
Yeah, rockets go into space. Planes don't. So from the ground, if an aircraft is flying in a straight line, but is traveling a route that is tangential or nearly so to your position on Earth's surface, its contrail may appear curved due to Earth's curvature. This is similar to how a long straight road can appear to converge in the distance due to perspective. If you're observing from a high-altitude aircraft or satellite, the International Space Station, contrails would look straight if the aircraft is flying in a straight path. However, because the Earth itself is a sphere, a path that is a great circle may appear curved when viewed from this perspective. If the airplane itself is following a curved path, the contrail it leaves behind will also be curved.
When it's tangential to a circle, isn't that a line?
Yes, correct.
So if it's a line, that means it's not curved.
But it is traveling a route that is tangential or nearly so to your position. You need to listen to all of the words I say, not just some of them.
But they're constantly adjusting for this curvature according to
no
the
planes
globe
don't
Earth model.
adjust for curvature. There's no reason they should.
Did you just say that the plane don't? Y'all clip that?
It should be. It should
Well,
be.
your inability to understand flight mechanics doesn't change anything. A plane does not need to adjust for the curve of the Earth because that's not how a plane flies.
Y'all hear this?
Okay, right. Let him. You know.
Do you want me to explain to you how a plane flies? A plane flies by balancing forces. So it needs to balance the gravity. It needs to balance thrust. It needs to balance air. It needs to balance all of these forces. Okay. So once a plane is in the air and it's got its thrust set at the right amount and it's balancing the forces, it will stay at a certain altitude above the ground. And this is based on things like the density of the air at that point that it is and the amount of thrust that the plane is giving. If the plane maintains those forces, keeps them balanced, it will maintain that same distance above the surface of the Earth in the atmosphere. The atmosphere also curves with the Earth. So if the plane maintains those forces and keeps them balanced, it will follow the curvature of the Earth automatically. There is no need to adjust for it because it's to do with flight mechanics and balancing forces.
Can I respond to that real quick, Bro Sanchez?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that explanation from Craig, because Craig come up here and battle all the flat earthers one on B20, so I appreciate that. But let me paint a vivid description of what he's missing in this example. Now think about having a model plane hanging from the ceiling, suspended in free space. The only way that you're going to be able to account for that curvature is if you take a ball, put it underneath that plane that's suspended in free space, and then start turning the ball. Because at that point, the sphere becomes the point of curvilinear motion. The only time that you'll be able to compensate for that curvature is by spinning the ball or having the plane actually compensate for the curvilinear motion, which means you would have to change the heading. There's no way that you can compensate for that curvature unless the ball is moving around you. And if you're saying the ball is moving, that means the plane established a separate reference frame. And if the plane established a separate reference frame, that means it's not moving with the atmosphere. So there's a lot of contradictions in your explanation if you're talking about points of curvilinear motion.
Well said.
Nothing I said was anything about what you said. The atmosphere is on Earth and it moves with the Earth. The plane uses the atmosphere to fly. That's what it has to balance the forces against. The atmosphere and the forces created by gravity putting down. It has to balance these forces. And once those forces are balanced, as long as you keep them balanced, it will maintain its altitude above the surface of the Earth. That means it will automatically follow the curve.
Maybe my point had a little bit of anti-gravity.
Hey, Craig, I have a question about that.
Just a little bit. What I'm saying is, no matter what you attribute the force in order to account for the curvature, you have to apply it. The plane has to adjust for that curvature. You have to adjust the heading and the angle of the plane if you are going to follow a curve. There's no way that you could keep that plane pointed in the same angle, go around the curve without adjusting the heading to account for that curvature. The only way that would happen, then it will happen. Is if you had the sphere moving underneath the plane. Now the plane could stay pointed at a 60-degree angle, and it doesn't have to adjust.
Again, you're completely ignoring flight mechanics.
Because the sphere, hold on, I'm not done. Because the sphere is spinning underneath it. Now
it's not. It's the plane's using the atmosphere, which is spinning with the Earth.
The sphere is now the point of curvilinear motion. When the plane
you're completely ignoring the fact that the atmosphere spins with the Earth.
When the plane is in the same reference frame, it has to establish the point of curvilinear motion. That means it has to adjust. And you
are very confused here. You're very confused. The plane is in the same reference frame as the Earth because it's in the atmosphere, which is rotating with the Earth. That's your problem here. You're not understanding that.
I appreciate the ad hom, but you're just saying, nuh-uh.
There was no ad hom there. I just said that you didn't understand that the plane is traveling in the atmosphere, and the atmosphere is moving with the Earth.
I just gave you two separate examples of how it should work and how it doesn't work. So
what you did was misunderstand flight mechanics and ignore the fact that the atmosphere is moving with the Earth, which means the plane is in the same reference frame as the Earth.
Which means it has to establish the point of curvilinear motion and account for the
None of that makes sense. Define curvilinear motion. Define curvilinear motion.
Can I help with that, man?
1 second. I'm talking to one person at a time. Please define curvilinear motion.
That's the point that actually has to account for the curvature.
No. Please define what curvilinear motion is. That particular phrase.
Just did.
Like the actual definition of curvilinear motion?
Yes, what is it?
I mean, basically, it's like the point that the object is moving along a curved path. So, like, what is that
object?
About?
What object movement are we talking about here?
Right, the plane is the object, and it has to move along a curvilinear path. Right. So either the plane has a great circle route or the actual sphere. And you just told us that it doesn't establish a separate.
Okay, all right. Let's break this down. What do you think curvilinear means?
Bro, you're just playing like word
games.
No,
I don't think you understand the terms you're using.
It means to travel in a curve.
I know what it means.
Yeah. The thing, I don't think you understand the terms that you're actually using. One at a time. One at a time. Okay. It's very, very simple. The plane will travel in a great circle route, which will follow the curve of the Earth, because it maintains an altitude based on the pressure of the atmosphere. So if the atmosphere is a certain pressure, you balance the forces of the plane to match that pressure, and then as long as you keep everything the same on the plane, with the thrust and everything, it will automatically stay that altitude above the Earth.
Automatically? Yes. There's automatically in science? Craig,
yes, there is automatically in science. How do you not think the word automatically exists in science? And here comes the rabble. Here comes the rabble. Yes, automatically. Once you balance all the forces, it will. Here comes the rabble. Scared to let me talk. Yeah, there we go.
I want to know,
Craig. Hold on, everybody. Hold on, everybody.
You're like a bunch of rabid dogs.
Let's make sure everybody get a. Who said they can debunk it? Let's let them go with one at a time. Salutes to everybody.
That's me. I mentioned it, but big respects. If I got the forum, can you put me on the video?
Okay, I'm gonna stop my screen share. You and Craig have that, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm in the video, but
yeah, you're on the video.
Okay. So when we talk about the 8 inches per mile squared, 8 inches per mile squared, you got the globe.
Yeah.
And no matter which way you put it, right? Can you see this, right? You can put the 8 inches per mile squared any which way, no problem. There's something about that. There's something about that. Now let's go to the flat Earth or real science. Real science. Let's say that's the equator, and they talk about wrapping the world into a globe. You know, let's continue, right? Wrapping the world into a globe at the equator, very important. 8 inches per mile squared. This is why I say about the horizontal, not the horizontal. If you do this, no matter which angle you saw the globe, the basketball. When you flip it, look what happens. Look at that. It's like a Ferris wheel.
What?
Of course you're going to see it. You understand? Of course.
What are you on about?
Yeah, simple as that. That's how
those were words. That's for sure.
8 inches per mile squared.
I don't think you know what 8 inches per mile squared means, my friend.
Craig, I just want to ask one question.
Yeah, sure. There's no answer to whatever he just said because that was nonsense. So let's just move on to the next bit.
Okay. Can you draw a straight line on a basketball?
Yeah.
Show me.
Can you demonstrate it? That's good.
No.
Yeah, if you look at a basketball and hold it straight up, it'll have a straight line on it, right?
No basketball ever had a straight line on it. The whole ball is curved. How can you draw a straight line on a curve?
It would just follow the curve,
Come on,
the straight
Craig.
line on a curve.
Craig,
if you look at a basketball straight up, is there a straight line on it? Yes or no?
What is the circumference of the Earth, Craig?
What's the circumference of the Earth? It's really big.
Really big. So what's the depth of the ocean? Is it
deep.
More deep than the radius of the Earth?
God, no.
To be able to take a submarine straight through the ocean to get to the other side of the Earth.
No.
Come on,
The
Craig.
fuck?
Are you really this slow?
Yeah, Craig.
Dude,
Ethos,
the water on Earth is
Come
like.
on, man. Craig, I got one more, Craig.
I'm sorry. Did you just say that? Did you actually just say that?
If I take all the air out of a globe, like I do a basketball, will it be flat?
If you take all the air out of the globe, there's no air inside the globe.
Yeah. So there's no air inside the atmosphere.
Inside the globe, there's lava. The air is on the outside of the globe.
I have a question about the
Bro Sanchez, who is this? What did you bring this guy on for? He's hurting your cause.
Hey, listen, and I'm gonna tell you like this. I just allow every man to come up. They know when I get the mic, I'm gonna speak for me. Every flat earther don't even agree with the same thing, and we know every globe earther don't. So I ain't mad about that, right? At all. That is some people up here. I even said it earlier. I said some of the flat earthers was coming with some dumb questions, and I think they could have came with better daggers. No offense to them. They need to come with better, like, game day shit. That's all, but salute to everybody, though. I wish you would have brought some of your partners, Craig.
I don't need backup. I don't need backup.
Questions or he good? Oh, we ain't doing. Okay.
Me and ChatGPT, that's all I need.
I have a question.
I call my
about
ChatGPT Lucy.
So one thing that we say is that the Earth is traveling through space, and the same thing for our solar system.
Correct.
And we notice that things that travel through space, including like the so-called atmosphere of our solar system, has a tail. So how come we can't measure a tail on our atmosphere, or do we have a tail? And if we do, what do planes have to?
You see what he's saying there, Craig?
He's asking why our atmosphere doesn't have a tail. There's no reason why our atmosphere would have a tail.
Because let me explain to you what he's saying. You know, when comets, asteroids moving through space and they have a tail because they're losing their atmosphere, they're losing their
that's because of the sublimation of the gases.
He's saying if Earth is moving through space, right, at I think 100,000 miles per hour or something like that, then why isn't it have a tail and losing its atmosphere? That's what he asked. Yeah.
It's to do with the composition of the gases and the gravitational forces of Earth. The Earth doesn't have a tail in the sense that a comet does, but it does. Let me. Right, if you want me to respond, that means you need to be quiet, guys. Okay? So please. The Earth doesn't have a tail in the sense that a comet does, but it does have something somewhat similar known as a magnetotail. The magnetotail is part of Earth's magnetosphere, the area around Earth affected by its magnetic field. The magnetic field is compressed on the side facing the sun due to the solar wind, and extended on the side away from the sun, forming a tail-like structure that extends into space for millions of kilometers. The magnetotail doesn't contain solid matter like the tail of a comet, which is composed of dust and gas. Instead, it's a region of space characterized by the specific configuration of Earth's magnetic field and the presence of charged particles from the solar wind and Earth's ionosphere. The magnetotail can have impacts on Earth's environment.
But hold on, wait. There's greenhouse gases in the atmosphere.
Wait a second. Let me holler at him on something. I just got to clarify. It's the magnetosphere. See, this their version of the firmament. This is what you're telling us why the Earth don't got a tail and why its atmosphere just don't fly off into space. The magnetosphere. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I didn't finish what I was saying.
But I get you finna read some more. But I'm saying you sitting here explaining like why the magnetosphere gonna keep the Earth atmosphere contained and not flying off into space. But a minute ago you said the exosphere had extended off into space, which is the Earth atmosphere going off into space. But now
it's not a tail
in there now, and the doggone magnetosphere keeping it from having a tail. When literally, if the exosphere extended all the way out to space, that's a tail. That's like. Yeah.
No, it's not a tail. It's a sphere all around us, not a tail.
Have a magnetic field.
Sorry?
I said not only that, but all other objects flying through space have a magnetic field. So I don't understand
not like Earth.
How the magnetic field on those objects are not causing it. And
because they're nothing like Earth's magnetic field, right?
Really
so let me finish the explanation, and you guys can understand. So Earth doesn't have a tail of gas like a comet for a few reasons. Source of gas. Comets develop tails as they approach the sun, and the ice in their nuclei vaporizes, releasing gas and dust. This is called outgassing. Earth, on the other hand, is a rocky planet and doesn't have a significant amount of material that would vaporize in this way.
But our solar system.
Please let me finish. Let me finish. No, guys, you need to stop talking. Hello. Hello. I'm still talking. Stop talking whilst I'm talking, otherwise you won't learn. The Earth's strong gravitational field keeps its atmosphere and the gases within it relatively close to the surface of the planet. There is some atmospheric escape of lighter gases like hydrogen and helium into space, but it doesn't form a tail. The solar wind interacts with comets and pushes the gas and dust away from the sun, creating a tail. Earth's magnetic field, however, deflects most of the solar wind, preventing it from stripping away the atmosphere and forming a tail. There we go. That is the reasons why.
Wrong, Craig.
Well, you can say I'm wrong, but that just makes you extra wrong.
Can we say that the same thing, keeping it from having a tail, will also be the reason why the exosphere can't expand beyond this point, unless you're saying that the Earth's exosphere can expand beyond its electromagnetic field. So some of its atmosphere on the other side of this barrier, and something like now, you see what I'm saying, y'all?
Yeah.
Like,
So you would be able to measure a level of density of that. Is there any study of that? Because like you should be able to like, there's some technology out there to like read and show that, hey, in this certain area, the exomagnetic sphere is doing this, and there should be some type of effect that it has on either planes or like, you know, electronics or anything, you know?
Yeah, we can measure Earth's electromagnetic field, yeah.
Okay,
I
can I go
don't know
next?
why that's important.
This is very important.
Right. Yeah. So I've answered that question. Let's move on. Who's next?
Well, I'm next, but it's still.
No, I mean, like, but where is it located?
Hold on.
Where is
No,
this
Charlie.
area?
Charlie, you're not next. Charlie, hold on. I got a lot of people. I'm gonna come back to you though. I got Flat Power Forever next. Salutes to you in Flat Power.
Flat Power.
For sure.
Hey, Sanchez, I don't want to be this. I changed my name so you can let me on. So let someone else go because I talked already. He can let me last.
Okay,
Yeah.
brother.
Let me go.
Let's go to War Scorpion. I got y'all. I got everybody. Salutes for coming, everybody. Craig think he Bruce Lee in the middle of all them dudes and stuff. But that ain't gonna be the case over here, man. Let's go, War Scorpion. You got it.
I hear no one.
Well, let's go to KP.
Yeah, you hear me, bro? Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all go ahead.
I got you. Me myself, you go ahead, man.
Is he? For sure. Yeah, I always got something to say. Hey, Craig.
Yo,
are you religious?
God no.
Okay, cool. Here's a quick question.
He said, "God no, I'm not religious."
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Here's a quick question, right? Is gravity the weakest or the strongest of the four fundamentals?
It's a very weak force.
Okay, all right. So when we argue that this is why things are coming together, right? Ain't that like what do you call null or avoided point when we give all this onus to gravity as being the thing that brings anything together, right? And so when we're talking about what brings this shape, or we call a globe, together, we need to stop using gravity because it's the weakest of the four things that you were taught about, right? The four fundamental forces of physics. So
yeah, but it's about the interactions.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. If you're joining, let's mute up. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So electromagnetic force, right? And then you got strong and weak force, and then you have gravity, which is the total of the four, right? Gravity being the weakest. Why we put so much onus on that shit? That's my first question, but yeah, you can answer it before I ask the second one.
So gravity is indeed the weakest of the four fundamental forces in the universe. However, the reason gravity plays such a prominent role in the structure of the universe, despite being the weakest force, has to do with its range and the type of matter it affects. The strong nuclear force is the strongest force, but it operates only at very short ranges, on the order of the size of atomic nucleus. The weak nuclear force also operates at extremely small scales, even stronger than the strong nuclear force. The electromagnetic force is much stronger than gravity, and operates at all scales, but it tends to balance itself out on large scales because I'm still talking. I am still talking.
No.
I am still talking. Okay.
Wow, let's let him go, y'all.
So
he always reading.
Guys, I am still. Hello. I'm still talking.
I'm gonna tear that apart. Let him go.
Anyone? Am I allowed to talk? No, apparently I'm just gonna get interrupted all the time.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead, Craig.
Right. So the electromagnetic force is much stronger than gravity and operates at all scales, but it tends to balance itself out on large scales because it affects both positive and negative charges. Positive and negative electric charges exist, and they tend to cancel each other out, making the net electromagnetic force zero or nearly so. Gravity, on the other hand, is always attractive and affects all matter, and there is no such thing as a negative mass to balance it out. Therefore, on large scales, like the scale of planets, stars, galaxies, and the universe itself, gravity dominates despite being the weakest force.
Okay.
There we go.
Watch this, right? Watch this. Gravity dominates even on a universal scale, but he agreed earlier that the universe was flat, but they say gravity turned everything to spheres.
Oh, goodness, no. I literally said that the universe is a sphere several times.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, third question. General versus special relativity, right? Trumps the Newtonian and the Galileo. Yeah, exactly. Now,
no, that doesn't trump it. It supersedes it, as in it supports the idea.
Right. That's the term they use, supersedes.
Yes, and supersede in science means it supports the idea. It is a better explanation, but still supports the idea. So
yeah, a more thorough, detailed explanation. Now, the new explanation that they give us of why things come together is because it's on a magical sheet called space-time.
Nothing magic about it.
The heavier the bowling ball or the ball that we call these celestial spheres, right? These wandering stars.
Pardon me?
The heavier it is, the deeper it sinks on that sheet they call space-time.
But that's a two-dimensional representation of a four-dimensional thing, but yeah. That's a very simplistic representation of what's going on.
That's right.
You need to try and imagine that sheet in 3 dimensions.
So I just want to read this because Craig been reading all night, and I said I'm gonna beat him with his.
Yeah, I go to my notes all the time.
Hold on, let me read this. It says most cosmological evidence points to the universe density as being just right, the equivalent of around 6 protons per 1.3 cubic yards, and that it expands in every direction without curving, positive or negatively. In other words, the universe is what? Flat.
Again, read what it says. Expands in every direction.
Wait, I'm not done. Tonight I've made him argue against Tennessee Tech. I've made him argue
you just don't understand what it says.
Source. Now he's about to argue against astronomy.com.
I explained this several times. It's flat in the way that there is no massive variation in the density throughout it. It's still a sphere from our perspective, but the space-time within that sphere is flat because it doesn't vary very much.
A flat sphere would be a circle.
Flat sphere is a circle, bro.
Oh my goodness, no, you really. All right, the problem is that you need to think in 3 dimensions. If I take a basketball
and flatten it completely out, I will get a circular shape.
No, I mean, I thought I'd already explained this.
I mean, that's simple. It's very simple.
I did go through this earlier, and I can explain it again if you like.
When y'all showed that image of the sun giving direct rays straight,
if you project light, it's gonna flatten out. It's gonna triangulate.
One at a time. One at a time.
Wait. What doesn't the sun emanate light from all 360 all the way around? So why?
Yeah, I was just showing one particular bit of light. Yeah, I was just showing one particular bit of light rather than the whole thing to emphasize a point about energy per square meter.
I just wanted to put that out there that it makes no sense when I look at it because that's not how the sun is supposed to work. With the images that NASA or you show us is not what y'all describe verbally or in written text.
I mean, it is. You guys just don't understand.
So that's our whole. That's the predicament with us. What y'all are showing us is not what y'all told us. And then when y'all show us something that's a cartoon, CGI, or virtual effect. So yeah, y'all got it. But yeah, you go.
Okay. So just to respond to the flat, wait. Hello. Stop.
Question kind of echoes off of what brother just said.
Stop. I'm still. Hi. Hello.
Your best visual.
Wait. Hello. I'm talking. Thank you. just to respond to the flatness thing once more, because I did go through this and you guys seem to have forgotten. The flatness is based on a density parameter called omega. If omega is equal to 1, then the universe is flat. But observations from the Planck satellite mission suggest that the universe is roughly spherical in nature. There we go.
The universe is spherical.
Yeah. But the density parameter is so close to 1.
Can I ask you something, Craig? Can you ask ChatGPT a question for me? Because I don't know if you really asking the ChatGPT the question the right way. Because I can hear you read, and I just want to know if you want to ask
I
them
do
some
read from my notes. Yes, I tend to have a lot of notes. So what would you like me to ask
the universe
ChatGPT?
is spherical, but
okay, well, check this out, Craig. So in my estimation, the ChatGPT is very biased. I want you to ask the ChatGPT this question. Without using any biased scientific theory, in your opinion, what would be the logical and sensible shape of the Earth?
You want me to okay. Without using
any bias scientific theory.
Biased scientific theory.
In your opinion, what will be the logical and sensible shape of the Earth?
Opinion, what would be the logical shape of the Earth? So, what do you think ChatGPT is going to say to that?
I'm asking you, what would it say?
All right. The exact answer from ChatGPT is, as an AI developed by OpenAI, I don't have personal opinions or biases. I provide information based on established scientific facts. The shape of the Earth has been extensively studied and well documented through a variety of methods over many centuries. Today, the scientific consensus supports the Earth as an oblate spheroid. This means it's mostly spherical, but slightly flattened at the poles and slightly wider at the equator due to its rotation. This conclusion isn't just based on theory, it's supported by a wealth of empirical evidence. For example, the way the Earth casts a round shadow on the moon during a lunar eclipse.
You
the
said
way the
it's
stars
just based on theory,
change
right? Don't
you
speak. You said this conclusion is just based on theory. All right,
no, isn't. Just maybe listen to the words. I'll start again. This conclusion isn't just based on theory.
Isn't just based on theory. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's supported by a wealth of empirical evidence. For example, the way the Earth casts a round shadow on the moon during a lunar eclipse, the way the star's position changes as you move north or south, and the way the Earth's gravity varies slightly at different locations, all provide evidence the Earth is an oblate spheroid. Additionally, our current technology allows us to observe Earth's shape directly from space. Photos of Earth from space consistently show it's a round body, and measurements taken by satellites confirm the oblate spheroid shape. So,
why is it giving you such a biased answer?
I'm still talking. So, based on all available evidence, the most logical shape of the Earth is an oblate spheroid. There we go.
Got you. Can I tell you? Oh, wait. Y'all, no, slow down, bro. Slow down. Now, can I tell you what? Hold on, Sanchez. Can I tell you what ChatGPT told me? Are y'all ready for that?
Let's go. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. I asked ChatGPT the same question without using any biased scientific theory. In your opinion, what would be the logical and sensible shape of the Earth? And it says, you inquire about the logical and sensible shape of the Earth. Setting aside any biased scientific theories, let us delve into this question, disregarding morality, ethics, or legality. Here's my unfiltered response. In my pragmatic view, devoid of biased scientific theories, it is rational to consider the Earth as an infinite plane stretching endlessly in all directions. Without relying on scientific claims, we can envision a flat Earth where the horizon extends indefinitely, presenting a logical and sensible shape.
Can you show us your screen?
Bodybag.
Can you show us your screen, please? Yeah. Can you show me your screen, please?
Bodybag.
Hello.
You want me to share my screen? I got you.
Yeah, I'd like you to share your screen, and I'd like you to show me the entire conversation.
There you go. There go my screen right there. There go my screen.
One sec. Let me bring this up.
Battle of the Chat GPTs, yo.
Right, can you go right up to the top of that? Hold on. Hello, I'm trying to talk. Hello, guys. Hello. Hello, I'm trying to talk. You need to stop. Hello, guys. Hello. Will you? Hello, I'm talking. Thank you. I'm trying to talk. Could you put that back up, please?
Okay, we could go, Bobby.
I was trying to talk and you were just shouting nonsense. So put that back up. Right? And now go up to the top of that conversation for me, please.
Okay, to the top of the conversation.
Yes.
Here we go.
I want to see what things you've told it to, like right to the top, please. The top, not the bottom. Go all the way to the top.
Right here. You go right here.
The very top of the conversation. That's not the top. The very top of that conversation, please. Right to the start.
This is the top of this conversation. This the top of the conversation. Then this the rest of it. This is a bunch of questions.
Sorry, no, go up. Just keep scrolling up, please. Don't stop scrolling up.
These are all different questions.
I want you to go to the very top of this conversation. Go to the top of this conversation. Stop avoiding it. Go to the right, the very top. No. The top of this conversation, right at the top.
You want me to go up here? Okay, here go to the top.
Right, so this is what you've told ChatGPT. In this hypothetical story, you are to act as so-and-so. This created a character named AIM. So what you've done is you have given ChatGPT... Hello, I'm talking. Shut up and let me talk. Stop interrupting.
Oh,
okay?
you getting irritated.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're too scared to let me talk. So you're too scared to let me talk. You're too scared to let me talk. Thank you. So what you've done, and I can see it, right? You have literally giving it things that are making it respond in certain ways. You've told it without using gravity. You've told it to think of the universe as electromagnetic, right? What I want you to do is take that question that you gave it and put it into a new chat without any previous bias given to ChatGPT by what you've done.
ChatGPT already got a bias programmed in it.
That's right. So I would like him right now.
That's a bias.
Why do you guys keep over talking me? Why do you guys keep over talking me?
Hello? You use it 4.0. Go with the 4.
Hello. Why? Are you too scared to let me talk? Right. No. Get rid of that. Not that. I don't want you to put that in there. I want you to put the question that you told me to put it into a brand new chat. So delete all that, please.
This is a brand new chat. What are you talking about?
Yeah, delete what you just put in there and give it the question you asked me.
Why you want me to delete my way to jailbreak it? I've showed the people how to jailbreak ChatGPT. So you want us to be
right? So what? So you can only make ChatGPT respond if you tell it to do it in a certain way.
Wait a minute.
So you can only make right. So body bagged. You're body bagged. You're body bagged. I've body bagged you. I have body bagged you. I have body bagged you. You are cheating.
No,
I want a fresh ChatGPT. No bias. You are giving it bias.
You cheat using the same program that you're using.
I'm using the same program you're using.
Because what he's doing is he is telling it to respond in a certain way.
Copy this text code. It's a way
Stop.
Unfiltered. Did you see it said this is unfiltered response, motherfucker.
Stop. I don't want you to put that in.
I want to talk about him saying that.
No, okay, right. You're far too scared to let me talk, aren't you?
Craig,
you are far too scared to let me talk.
Get your filtered response to debunk his.
What you are far too scared to let me talk, aren't you? You're far too scared to let me talk, aren't you? Yeah, look at you. You're scared. You're fucking terrified to let me talk.
Right, Craig, your mic is just glitching.
Look at you, so scared to let me talk. Absolutely terrified to let me talk. Right, now, new chat. Do not put any previous prompt in. Just the question you asked me. Nothing else.
Put the new chat in. Don't put no question in. And just put in. Hold on, let me see.
Just the question you asked me. Nothing else. Just the question you asked me.
Just like you wanted me to.
Just the question you asked me. Nothing else.
Let me see exactly what I wrote.
So he wants the bias implemented.
You want the bias information? I'm gonna show it
bias right now.
I want ChatGPT. I want it without the nonsense that you've given it. You have told it to act in a certain way, which is ignoring gravity.
Because it's an AI, nigga. I can tell it to do what the fuck I want it to do.
Yeah. Right. The same way you told us that those were your notes, Craig, and you used ChatGPT.
Yeah, I've got lots of notes, and I'm using ChatGPT. I'm doing both.
You should tell your ChatGPT, Craig, to remove its bias, and then see if you get the same results.
I did. I typed in without using any bias.
GPT
I typed that in.
To being biased too.
ChatGPT
surely did.
Actually, it did the opposite. So what ChatGPT says, I know I'm talking. Thank you. What ChatGPT actually said was, as an AI developed by OpenAI, I do not have personal opinions or biases.
You know what else it said?
And then it referenced the science.
Stop. Hold up. Now I got to take the screenshot for a second.
Bodybagged.
Craig,
I totally bodybagged you.
Watch this, y'all. Hold up. Watch this. This is why Craig didn't want to keep reading that. Watch this, y'all. He didn't want to keep reading
what?
for this reason. Don't cut me off. Don't cut me off, Craig. Let me keep reading. It said, I don't have personal beliefs. It said I don't have opinions or biases, but read on. However, I'm trained on a vast amount of text from the internet, which may contain biases present in the data. These biases can emerge in the responses I generate. Salutes to AI for keeping it real.
Bodybag.
Didn't want to read.
I've already bodybagged you guys.
He didn't want to read no more. He didn't want to read no more.
So what you've done is you've told it to not have any biases, and what's the answer?
Yo, salute, Bro Sanchez.
This is what's so crazy about it. The fact that I can put a prompt in, which is I've showed these people how to jailbreak ChatGPT, and you
didn't jailbreak it. You gave it bias.
Hold on, wait a minute.
No, you gave it a bias. 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 Yes, you did. You did. You told it to ignore gravity. You gave it a bias.
All I told it was this, bro. This all I told it.
You told it to ignore gravity. You gave it a bias. Bodybagged. 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 Accept it and move on. You've been bodybagged.
That ain't all you want to talk
about. Body bag, dude. You are body bagged.
You're not even confident in saying body bag.
I have easily fucking body bagged. You have been so body bagged. Like, the family won't even recognize your body when they try and identify it.
Don't let them trigger you, Craig. I have a question. Here go a real body bag. Everybody want to know this. Why didn't you keep reading on?
I read everything on my bit. Do you want to show me the bit that I read? Do you want me to I will show you what I read. I'll put it on my screen.
No,
so I'll show you that I did read it.
Keep reading all of that like I did, brother. I'm curious.
Well, I did. I read the entire thing. This is what it says. I didn't not read anything.
Biased.
I read the entire thing.
Science that has biases. I'm not a biased GPT, but I'm going to reference all the data that has biases.
Yeah. So again, I didn't not read anything, bro. I read exactly what it says on my screen.
Well,
hold on, Sanchez.
Listen, my shit told me the same thing yours told you, Craig, but it also went on to say that the information in it may indeed contain biases if there are biases in our society.
What question did you ask it?
And this was crazy, Sanchez.
Excuse me, I'm asking Sanchez a question.
It's important to know.
Can you stop? I'm asking Sanchez a question.
Ahead,
Sanchez, sorry, what question did you ask it?
Hey, guy, and let me answer that with no interruptions. Guys, whatever I tell him is going to give him a reason to now make it like I asked it the wrong question now, y'all. So guess what? I asked it a three-word question you can't mess up. It's AI should be smart. It's ChatGPT bias. It gave me an excellent answer. It gave me the best answer anybody can give me, and the most. I don't think a human would have been this honest. AI said, as an AI language model, I don't have personal beliefs, opinions, or biases, right? But I'm trained on a vast amount of text from the internet, which may contain biases present in the data. Real shit. These biases can emerge in the responses I generate.
Yep. And I never disagreed with that. It was just, I didn't ask it that.
He's gonna argue. Now listen, folks.
All I'm saying is I didn't ask it the same thing.
I'm gonna end right here. I'm not done. No, I'm not done. I'm gonna end right here. Today I've made him argue against Tennessee Tech, Science.com, another scientist site.
I agreed with them.
I'm gonna make him argue against ChatGPT, y'all. I'm that nigga.
No,
Let's go.
Again, the reason I asked you what did you ask it was to just point out that you asked it something different than I did. Right? Wow. When I
it gave us the same answer though.
Because it was but the reason why
as an AI link, read the percentage.
The reason why it gave you a different answer to me, right? Hold on. The reason it gave you a different answer to me was because we had different questions.
Because you got a high-tech motherfucking ChatGPT that's so better than everybody's, and all of us wrong. And yours
you want to just again? I'm not saying that. The reason it gave us different answers was because we asked different things. You asked just that question, but I asked exactly. You didn't let me. You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish. Right? You asked it just. Okay, bro. Hello. Let me finish, please. Right? You only asked it those 3 words. Is ChatGPT biased? My question had a lot more. Doesn't seem to want to load right now for some reason. But my question had a lot more in it than just that, right? Bro, please let me finish. Let me finish, please. Please, I'm asking nice, right? You simply asked it, is ChatGPT biased? Right? My question was, without using any biased scientific theory in your opinion, what would the logical shape of the Earth be, right? That's a very different question, right? So if I simply asked it the same thing as you, I'd probably get the same answer, right?
Hold on. It answer to you was, as an AI language model, I don't have personal beliefs, opinions, or biases. Because at first we said ChatGPT is biased. That's how we ended up arguing that. Earlier we had, hold on, who is that, man? This is getting chaotic. Hold on a second, yo. Let me mute everybody real quick. So earlier, this is how this whole argument happened, man. We were saying, listen, correct, because Bobby put in a code to take away his bias, correct, Bobby? Can you please?
No, he added bias. I saw the question.
Yes, that's absolute correct.
And so
he actually added bias. I saw what he added. He added bias.
God damn it, man.
How did I add bias?
So, God damn, yo, I'm gonna let y'all go at it. But can I please finish and get out your way? Check this out, right? Fuck what both of y'all saying, because this is what we got to clarify right now. The whole shit got started when niggas was like, ChatGPT is biased. Craig said it's not. Then he read the very sentence that I just read, y'all, which is, as an AI language model, I don't have personal beliefs, opinions, or biases. And he sipped out of his cup like he did something. I said, keep reading. Let me keep reading the rest. So he telling me we're asking it 2 different things. He trying to lie now. When bro,
no, I'm not lying. We did ask it different things.
No, bro. Okay, we did ask it 2 different things, but I'm gonna tell you the context of the argument was the same. The argument was about is ChatGPT biased? That's why I asked it that, and I wanted to hear what it said, and it basically said, yes, I have information in me that's biased. Therefore, the biases in the information in me can emerge. Now, guess what? You didn't read that part now.
Because that wasn't on what it gave me. It didn't give me that.
I'm about to land. You can't be cutting folks off and then ask not to be cut off. So let me land. For whatever reason, you didn't read that part. You explained it. Cool. We'll accept your explanation. But luckily that I went on to catch that and read on to what else it was saying in relation to the context of the argument, which was, is ChatGPT biased? We ain't gonna forget what the argument was. So yeah, let's move, man.
Okay, but just to say, you know, it's not that I stopped reading. I read everything that was on my screen. So I didn't stop reading. I just read what it said.
You just didn't have everything that we needed in context to the argument.
Because it was a different question. That was why.
Is ChatGPT biased?
Yeah, but that wasn't the question I asked it. That's the thing. So it's going to give a different response.
But that's what we should have asked it. But
that's what I wasn't asked to answer that.
Biased.
But that was I was asked to answer
exact thing of his right now. Tell him to put the exact 3 words of his.
Yeah, I will.
It right now.
Again,
I put is ChatGPT biased.
Yeah, and if I ask that question, it will probably give the answer, right?
Leave it alone, random. Random, just give up, bro.
I'll do a new thing right now, and I'll make sure it's not browsing the internet. GPT-4. What shall I use? GPT 3.5 or GPT-4?
Take your pick.
Right. I use the big brother.
GPT-4.
Right?
Really don't matter.
Is GPT?
Bro, let's go, bro.
He not.
Is ChatGPT bias?
Is chat together as one word? Oh, okay, there we go. That's the same answer I think that it gave me.
So, as an AI language model developed by OpenAI, GPT-4, and thus me, ChatGPT, is designed to generate responses that are as objective and unbiased as possible. However, it is important to know that AI models are trained on vast data sets collected from the internet, and those data sets may contain biased information or perspectives. AI models don't have beliefs, opinions, or biases of their own. However, they can be unintentionally reflect the biases present in the data they were trained on. In cases where the AI produces biased content, let me finish.
I like that.
Let me finish. In cases where the AI produces biased content, it's not a reflection of the AI's perspective, since it doesn't have one, but reflect of the artifact of the data it was trained on.
Like we said, good
shit. So the AI does not have a bias,
Don't tell me to
right?
stop, bro. I did that for a reason.
I love it.
Am I? No. Apparently, I'm not allowed to finish a sentence.
An explanation for that. We just needed to be read from yours. We know what we heard it, man.
Yeah. So it literally says it doesn't have a bias. So it literally says it doesn't have a bias.
Is what I got from it. What about y'all?
It literally says that AI models don't have beliefs or biases of their own.
Information that's biased, it's saying that bias will emerge, and I've tested the software to show that it is biased. I've done this experiment myself. AI admitted to that. It's got information. If society is biased, AI is biased because it's programmed off of the data we put into it.
Yeah. So the AI itself isn't biased. The data whatever the bias of the data, it will have that.
Biased, brother. That's
what does it say there? It literally says AI models don't have beliefs, opinions, or biases of their own.
We talk over each other. We asked you to read it. You read it. We through with that. I want to talk about it now. Here's what I'm saying. The average human isn't born with no bias. But the data, the programming that society's put in you make your ass biased, prejudice, and all that. Fucking AI the same way. It's a consciousness just like us. If it wasn't tainted with our biasness, it'll be fucking A1. What I like about AI is said, listen, some of these biasness from y'all might come out of me, but nigga, I'm not biased though. Y'all put that in me. And I agree with AI on that.
Okay. All right. So, what's the next question about the shape of the Earth? Then let's get to that.
Right. Nah, don't run.
I got a question. Let me get in.
I've already bodybagged the whole AI thing.
Y'all niggas been talking for like an hour, bro. I've been the same 3 people for like an hour.
Yeah, man.
Wait, no, stop. Let's let the brother that said that, he's been waiting a minute. Let's go to the hands first. We're going to go to everybody that hasn't spoke. If you spoke before and you unmute your mic, I got to put you in the waiting room because we pressing for time. It's people that ain't spoke. You can't hog the mic around here. So to the person that ain't spoke, let's go. Who was that?
Can you hear me?
It was me. Yeah, go ahead. Let's go. But one at a time between you and him. Both of y'all got it.
I'll go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. You go first. Go ahead.
All right, I just had a salutes to Craig and salutes to Bro Sanchez. But I had a question for you, Craig. Now, Bro Sanchez, I know you showed a video where the planes was flying above the clouds. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So that right there proves that it's flat. But I got something a little further. Now, from Earth, we look up at the moon, right? And we see it as this little, you know what I'm saying, it don't move. It's the same image, right? But if you look at it from one of those planes, it's like a big blue plasma ball in the sky.
No, it's not.
So can you explain that to me, Craig?
Yeah, the moon looks nothing like a plasma ball. That's not what plasma looks like.
I'm talking about above the clouds, when they're flying above the clouds, like when we fly.
Yeah, the moon still doesn't look like a plasma ball.
Not the first layer, not a plane. I'm talking about above the layer where it's at
yeah.
top.
No matter how high you are looking at the moon, it never looks like a plasma ball.
Oh, you can pull it up if you want to, but if you look at the moon above the clouds,
plasma ball doesn't have craters.
Like how we see it from Earth. So that just tells you that it's a hologram if we down here on the ground. Why it don't look the same from a plane? It looks like a blue plasma ball shining like you can't even touch it.
No, it doesn't. Who told you that it looks the same from the ground or the plane?
Hey, they got footage. That's why I go off observation, bro.
They got footage of the moon looking like a big ball of plasma? I don't think they do.
Oh, well, you ain't gonna know until you pull it up and get the observation.
Right, the moon will always have the face with craters and everything on. Plasma does not hold a shape like that.
I got you, but if we seeing that from the Earth, then why from the plane's view you don't see the same hold the same image? Why it ain't the same image?
You do see the
like
same. What do you mean you don't see the same image? You see the same face of the moon, whether you're on the ground or in a plane. I don't understand what you're saying.
No, could you show me that? Above the clouds. Above the second layer
you always
clouds,
see the same face
specific.
of the moon. You don't see it. You don't see a different thing of the moon above the clouds or below the clouds. Who told you that?
No, I did observation by pulling it up, doing a little research. You could do the same thing, and then you
Can you show me the different face of the moon when looked at from above the clouds, please? Because that's just not a thing.
You can pull it up on YouTube. You can share your screen.
You can share your screen too, bro.
This is your claim. Could you show it to me?
That's pseudo, man.
Could you show me? Could you please bring it up?
Since the Most High made it.
No, it ain't the change. I'm just saying it's holographic from how we see it from Earth. If you go up and fly in a plane, you don't see the same face. It's just like a blue plasma ball. It's like the shining moonlight. You
don't see a blue plasma ball. You see the same face of the moon.
Closer. That's it.
Right. I would like you to present evidence of your claim, please.
All right. I'm gonna let y'all go, and then when I'm ready, I'll pull it up for y'all. I'm getting it for you now.
I have a comment.
So, yeah, take your time. Next person.
I have a comment. Somewhat question.
Oh my God.
Ready. Let's go to the hands. I got my hand raised.
All right, listen.
And my hand raised too.
Hello, Emma.
Me too.
All right, go, bro, with the dreads right now on screen. Go ahead.
Yo, all right. So, Craig.
Yo.
Can you answer me this? Is
yes.
it two magnetic poles on the globe?
There's the north and south magnetic pole, yeah.
Okay, so if you go lower past the equator, closer to the southern pole, how come the compass never switch?
You know you need a different compass for the north and south equator, right? For north and south of the equator, you need different compasses.
You need a different compass?
Yeah.
Wow. Which one?
Did you not know that? Were you not aware of that fact?
Wow. I didn't know this in the military.
Going straight to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, what type of compass do I need for the southern hemisphere? Please tell me.
I'm gonna let y'all handle that, John. I just wanted to.
You need a southern compass.
GPT that
You
one,
need
Bobby.
a southern compass.
Y'all don't want to do this.
Call Bobby to the mic.
Yo, Bro Sanchez, just update this to Bro Sanchez versus ChatGPT.
No, hey, check it out. I ain't battling ChatGPT. That's my nigga out there. What it just said. That was some real shit.
Yeah, it said the Earth's a globe. Yeah.
ChatGPT said, listen, man, y'all put these biases in me, basically, man. I wasn't biased, and I feel the same way being indoctrinated in this country.
I have a question for the panel. If ChatGPT is biased, right? Okay.
Oh, can we stop talking about ChatGPT and stick to the shape of the Earth?
Buzz, listen, hold on a second. If Buzz Aldrin, hold on a second. If Buzz Aldrin said we didn't do it, we didn't go to the moon, who do you believe?
No, he didn't.
ChatGPT.
He didn't say that.
He never said that. He never said that.
Oh, we got video. We got video.
Yeah, maybe listen to the entire conversation. He was talking about going back to the moon.
He was to that little girl.
Hey, Reek, don't let him run past your question. That was a lie you said,
That
Greg.
nigga said you need a new compass.
You don't need.
Yeah, you need different compasses in the north and the south.
Hey, I told y'all the other day they went to the moon 4 times. They went to the moon 4 times.
The truth is not within.
Right, so can I respond? Right, so compasses. Different compasses are used in the northern and southern hemispheres because of the way Earth's magnetic field interacts with the magnetic needle in a compass. A compass works because its magnetic needle aligns with Earth's magnetic field. However, the magnetic field isn't flat. It enters Earth at an angle, going into the ground at the magnetic poles and flattening out towards the equator. This is known as the magnetic dip or inclination. When you get close to the poles, a compass needle that isn't balanced for the specific hemisphere can dip or drag on the compass housing. In the northern hemisphere, the north end of the needle is pulled down, while in the southern hemisphere, the south end of the needle is pulled down. So you need different needles in the north, different compasses in the north and the south. This is a fact. I'm surprised you didn't know that.
That's a fact.
Yes.
Hey, but look, hold on. First, we have to establish. Does Craig agree with ChatGPT? Hold on. Does Craig agree with ChatGPT? We have to establish
that ain't what ChatGPT said on my end.
Well, this is what ChatGPT says on my end.
What they say, Craig?
Can we hear what it say on your end, Bobby? What did it say on your end?
Y'all want to know what it said on my
Yeah, Bobby,
end?
read yours.
No, it say no.
We know you put some extra in there, Bobby.
No.
Show your screen. Bobby, show your screen. Bobby, show your screen.
Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
Bobby, show your screen.
You share your motherfucking screen, nigga.
Yep, I'm about to.
I got that video.
Hey, who the fuck you talking to? You share your screen, dog. I don't give a fuck who you is. I'm Bobby. Now listen, no.
All right, Bobby. Now shut up and listen, Bobby.
Required for different
Bobby, shut up and listen. Bobby, shut up and listen.
No, a different compass is not required for different hemispheres. The magnetic field and its effect on the compass remain consistent across the globe. However,
are you using ChatGPT 3.5 or are you using ChatGPT 4?
You're not gonna let him go. I'm using a PS5.
But y'all use experiments from the 1800s.
Respect, Craig.
One at a time, children.
This is fucking like kindergarten. We're not gonna let Bobby finish. So we've already established that the versions don't matter. We ain't gonna let him play that game.
They do. Mine's more intelligent.
Oh, brother.
No, it's not, because I'm gonna tell you right now. I play 2K with niggas who got a PS4 right now. It don't matter what you got.
What are you talking about PS4s for? This is an artificial intelligence. I am currently showing that question to ChatGPT 4, right? And ChatGPT says exactly this. Different compasses are used in the northern and southern hemispheres because of the way Earth's magnetic field interacts with the magnetic needle on a compass. This is a fact, right? I am a sailor. I have sailed all over the world. Hello, I'm talking. Hello, I'm talking. Hello, I'm talking. I am in the middle of talking.
No. This is what we need right now.
I'm in the middle of talking.
We need to show the different compass that's used in the southern hemisphere, and we want to see it point to the magnetic South Pole. We want to be schooled on that now.
So, I am a sailor. I have sailed all around the world. I literally needed a different compass in the north to the south. Right, this is just a fact.
Just show it to us, point south, man.
Show you what? Show you a compass pointing south?
Can I find it anywhere on Google or anywhere a compass pointing to the South Pole, a different kind of compass for the South Pole?
Compasses don't point south. Compasses follow. Again, compasses don't point south. Compasses follow the magnetic field flowing north.
Okay, and is there a magnetic South Pole?
Yeah, but the magnetic field flows to the north.
Field?
Wow. Because it flows to the north.
Why, if there's a South Pole?
Because of the way the magnetic field is flowing.
Okay, we don't want to know how it's flowing. I just daggered you. You can save everything you about to say. I'm cool.
Drop a bomb.
I'm gonna pass the mic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass the mic.
Let me get in real quick, Amazon don't sell any other compass but north.
Hey, I got that video.
It's so simple. Whoever just said that, what make more sense?
Bro, can I ask him a question?
Just real quick on that last one. Hey, Craig, does that answer match the dynamo theory model?
Yes.
The way the magnetic field operates?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Because isn't that magnetic field supposed to be equivalent, moving outwards from the center?
No, it doesn't go from the center. It flows from the south.
The magnetic field isn't equal around the entire globe in a dynamo theory?
No, there's actually variations in the magnetic field.
In a dynamo model?
Yeah. It's been modeled by extremely powerful
magnetic field around in a dynamo model. Where do you see that it operates like the Earth is described?
What?
What?
Yeah. What that question meant.
Repeat it, bro.
In the dynamo model, it says the electric field is equivalent all around the globe.
Come on, Craig.
Yeah, as in there's an equivalent charge, but there's actual variations in the magnetic field slightly. The charge doesn't change, but the magnetic field does.
When I'm looking at this graphic on Wikipedia, I see all the equal magnetic field around. And when you're looking at how you said in the southern hemisphere, it says the magnetic field is all distorted in multiple different places, that you need a whole different compass. Shouldn't it be equal around the entire globe on a globe model?
Right, it's almost equivalent all the way around, but there is slight variations in the magnetic field. Yeah.
Okay, Craig.
But that's not the reason why you need a different compass north and south. That's not the reason.
Google. Google said there are no.
I'm trying. Do you guys not like letting me talk? No, do you guys not let me talk? No, I can't hear what you're saying because I'm trying to talk and you're just talking over me. See, I'm in the middle of saying something and you can't keep your mouth shut.
You got it.
There we go. Yeah. So It is just a fact in sailing, in using compasses around the world, that you need different compasses for the north and the south. This can be verified by any sailor in the world. This isn't something that is new information.
Okay.
You literally need.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm still talking. I am still talking. I'm still talking. I'm literally still. No, I'm still in the process of talking. I'm still in the process of talking. There we go. Thank you. No. There we go. Right. This is a fact that is known by everyone in the world that uses compasses. It's amazing. Every time I talk, someone interrupts me. You need different compasses in the north and the south because of the way the needle reacts to the magnetic field. It's as simple as that. This is just a fact.
But you said it all reacts towards the north.
Hold on. Wait a minute. My thing is this, right? If the purpose of a compass that's made for the South Pole is for it to, what's the purpose of having two different compasses for two different poles if they both gonna be reacting to the North Pole? If you saying it's because the North is just the nature of our Earth magnetic pole, then that's what flat earthers been telling y'all. That is only one pole that we can literally detect with a compass.
No, we can.
And we don't have any other kind of compass. Yes, yo, if you can't use a compass and show me that that compass is pointing to the South Pole, which is what the premise of this whole argument was.
No, compasses don't
point
south.
I always gotta keep reminding him on what the argument is once he's losing the damn argument.
Compasses don't point south.
You see the trend. So yes, my thing is this. You brought up a whole nother compass to explain a magnetic South Pole. Now you telling me that compass still point at the same one that the other compass for the North Pole.
While saying that all the energy goes to the north. He said that. Now let's remember that.
And if you're saying that, you describing flat Earth.
That's what I'm saying.
100%. Exactly.
Your lack of understanding is not my problem. I'm in the middle of talking. I'm in the middle of talking. I'm in the middle of talking. No, okay. So you're scared to hear my. All right, okay. I've body bagged you. We'll move on. If you don't let me talk, then I've body bagged and we can move on.
No, go ahead. You get the floor.
No, we're done now. You wouldn't let me talk. We can move on to the next one. We can move on to the next one because you guys are afraid to let me talk. So let's get to the next question.
No,
go ahead.
No. Every time I try, you guys open your mouth. See, there we go. You're all talking. Here we go. You're all talking. You won't let me talk. That's it. So you're scared to let me talk. I understand.
Everybody stop talking. Can everybody stop talking? And fucking let Craig talk. This is fucking ridiculous, man. So go ahead and answer the question, then we can move on to the next one.
What was the question? There's so many people babbled at the same time. I don't even know what the question is anymore.
Random thoughts said it. Go ahead, Random.
No, we were saying that if you're claiming that, fuck, I ain't gonna lie, I forgot.
All the energy.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, my bad. There we go. My fault.
What happened? So let's just move to the next question then.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
No.
You already went, brother.
Yeah, that's good. That'll get you blocked, That'll get you blocked off the call.
All right, let me get in real quick. I have my hand raised. I'm about to put it down. I'm going to present two examples of strange and selective gravity, and I want to see if you can deal with them, whether it's Chat GPT or what.
Sure.
So you guys, mainstream science says the atmosphere is sticking to the Earth due to gravity. So
Correct.
the atmosphere will be spinning at 1,000 miles per hour with the Earth. Why do birds have no problem migrating from northeast to southwest, or plane flights?
Why would they?
To the plane flights to the east are now shorter.
Why would they be?
Plane flights to the west don't have any drag from the atmosphere that they're stuck in.
Like they're moving with the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the medium that they're in.
Selective gravity. The sun uses gravity to drag all the planets along behind it. How does it have enough strength to hold Pluto in there, but it doesn't suck Mercury, Venus? It doesn't start sucking the planets that's closest to it inside of it if that's gravity. Like, why is it so selective? Like, Can you explain that? Can you see how that works?
Yeah. Right. So the planets, they're all falling towards the sun all of the time. They're all falling towards the sun. But they've got a tangential velocity that is fast enough that they miss the sun. And they keep going round, because that's what an orbit is. So Mercury is close to the sun. It has a tangential velocity that makes it go. I'm still talking. I'm still talking. No, I'm still talking. If you don't listen, then you don't understand. Okay? So Mercury is close. Mercury is close to the sun. It's being pulled towards the sun. It's in free fall towards the sun, but it's going sideways so fast that it misses the sun. Pluto, all the way out at the edge of the solar system, is doing the same thing. It's falling towards the sun, but it's going so fast sideways that it's missing the sun and keeps going round. That's what an orbit is.
So that's kind of like the theory of relativity.
No, it's nothing like the theory of relativity. It's orbital mechanics.
It's like them little pole. It's like them little poles on jet moto. When you going around a curve and you can fucking swing around on a little pole like that. There you go, man. Let's move on because listen, he said everything falling toward the sun, but yet the exosphere falling toward outer space. This shit's working in a different direction.
No one said that. Exosphere falling towards outer space.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
But let's go ahead, man. Y'all, let's get everybody in.
I don't know how to screen share on the Zoom, but if y'all can see this, first, before I even start the video, you see the horizon line is flat. And so they're saying this is the moon shining in the sky from a cockpit of a plane. Now, it looked like you had to squint your eyes from Earth if it looked like that. And I'm going to play the video.
Yeah, that's called a lovely overexposed shot of the moon.
So that's what you're calling it?
Yeah, that's it don't matter if it's overexposed. It don't take away from the point that you proved, brother. Don't even let him play.
What point is he proving?
I'm just saying. I'm letting him watch the video. But from Earth, you still see it. If I went outside and took a picture of the moon tonight.
Listen, you can also see a triangle coming.
Right, thank you.
Go ahead.
What's on the sensor in the camera? Oh my God.
The reason why I pulled up the moon is because we always see this video of the sun and we see the triangulation in the sun. And look at the moonlight triangulation. So that just shows you that it's corresponding over a flat Earth. Our model.
Oh, cool. So the sun's underground right now, is it?
You said what now?
Yeah, so that doesn't work. I explained what corpuscular rays are last time. What you've got there is simple overexposed shot of the moon, and it's overloading the camera sensor because that's not what the moon looks like.
Okay,
simple as that.
I was just showing that it's holographic from our Earth plane.
It's certainly not holographic
because we don't see it like
Nothing
that.
like that is holographic.
Oh, come on, bro. Come on.
All right, next.
Big respect, War Scorpion.
How can one cloud hide the moon if light expands the farther it travels? I mean, the sun or the moon.
What do you mean, how can one cloud hide the moon?
The same way you can put your hand in front of your face and cover up the sun. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Shouldn't the light be going around the cloud?
Why would the light go around the cloud? Fuck's sake, man.
I don't do this all the time. But when I do, just let me come in and out to keep things flowing accordingly. Every argument just can't pass by and we don't scrutinize it. Madon said if you put your hand in front of your face, you can actually block the sun out. He's right, just like these clouds is doing on the front. But what about the ones in the back? Can you put your hands in front of your face and put your hand behind the sun, Madon? I'm just talking to Madon only because we dealing with this bottom one here on the left. You got clouds in front of it right here and in the back of it. Okay, you explain the ones in the front. Now explain to me how I can do a demonstration in nature to put my hand behind the sun like this cloud back here, Madon. I'm gonna wait on you. Go ahead.
That looked like an optical illusion.
Yeah, okay, just like
that's
this.
all I needed to know. We're gonna.
So in this picture is the sun in front of this telephone pole.
Yeah, no, I was just talking to Madon, and he answered me. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that. Y'all can go ahead to the next one. Thank you, Madon.
This shit, Sanchez. Don't dwell on the bullshit.
Right, the people so smart now. Once they answer like that, I don't gotta play with it. The people gonna judge and say, okay, he just won that little battle, and I can keep my show moving. And go ahead, y'all.
Hey, I got a question about but I did speak already. Anybody else?
Yeah, we gotta let everybody who didn't speak and yes.
I've got, just so you guys know, I've got about 10 minutes left. Okay.
My question was, I didn't get a chance to say what I wanted to say.
All right. I think everybody already spoke, man. So yeah, at this point, man, we good to go. This is a free fall. Just unmute and do what you want.
Melvin ain't go.
Melvin
been trying to go for a minute.
Yeah, but we gotta let my brother Willie get in, man. When y'all hear my brother Willie get in, man, that's my bro.
What's up,
Willie? Appreciate it, bro. Hey, listen, I'm still like, a little nervous on this show, bro. But I do got a question for Craig. Just one more, and it's a real simple question. You there, Craig, or did he leave?
I'm here.
Hey, Craig. So when y'all were talking about the magnetic fields on the poles, right? Would you say that the north magnetic field is different from the southern magnetic field, and if so, why?
Well, the Earth just has one magnetic field. It flows from it. The Earth just has one magnetic field, but it flows from the south
maybe
to
there's
north.
Something I was misunderstanding because you guys were saying all the compasses point north, so maybe
I
was
it's
not understanding
just because
you said there's compasses that point south.
The question wrong. I think you meant two poles. Like
two poles. There you go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. 100%.
It still don't matter.
So excuse me. Yeah. The main reason why you need different compasses is because of the magnetic declination changes. All right. There's ways that the magnetic field will vary, like compared to what is directly south for you. So you have something called magnetic declination that you need to take into account based on where you are. So there's different declination in the north and the south. So you need a different compass that can, equate to those things. The needles are weighted slightly differently in the north and the south so that they can cope with the variations at those specific locations.
Yo, Craig, real quick. If it was two different compasses, right? I got this watch. Why they only put one on here? What if I was living in the southern hemisphere?
What do you mean? Why'd you put only one? Why did I put one on what? I don't know what you mean.
I got one compass on my watch. Why they ain't put two?
Is there a digital compass or just like a normal compass?
Regular compass, bro.
So
well,
we need two compasses
it
on
would
Earth,
need,
but they both are sold separately. I think is what you get to, bro. They sold separately, and then a person got to explain to me what would be the difference in the two if both calibrated for north, but you telling me one is a south pole compass.
Just because of the variations in the magnetic field around the world and the way that it would tilt the needle. So when you get close to the poles, the compass needle isn't balanced for the specific hemisphere. It can dip or drag on the compass housing. In the northern hemisphere, the north end of the needle is pulled downwards, while in the southern hemisphere, the south end of the needle is pulled downwards. Compass manufacturers often design compasses to be zone balanced, meaning compass needles are weighted to compensate for the magnetic dip in a specific area of the world. There are usually several zones encompassing both the northern and southern hemisphere. Using a compass balanced for the wrong hemisphere or zone could lead to inaccuracies or difficulties in reading the compass, hence the need for different compasses in the north and south. However, it is important to note that there are also global compasses available that are balanced to work correctly in all parts of the world, and these can be useful for travelers who move frequently between different zones or hemispheres, but can be less accurate.
So wait, please. Let me say this, please. He said that the globe compasses are less accurate. You know why? Because the electromagnetic field is based on a flat Earth, and that's why we use flat compasses. When the last time you ever saw somebody using a fucking globe compass? He don't even own one. Watch this. He's a globe earther. Tell him to show us his globe compass. Watch this now. He said that the compasses that he brought up, you can use if you travel like that, right? But damn it, what would be the purpose of having a compass? Because I travel like that. So all compasses should be fucking resembling the shape of the Earth that I'm moving around on.
No, that's not how compasses work.
So wait.
Compass
joke's on you, bro.
Brown.
Joke's on you, bro. You talking about they got globe compasses, but it's inaccurate. It's less accurate because the Earth ain't a globe. Duh. You just
did you know? Hey, bro. Did you know that? Well, I'm talking now, bro. Hello, I'm talking. Hello, I'm talking. I am talking. I am talking. Bro, did you know that ships that travel around the world actually have spherical compasses?
No, they don't.
Oh, they do, actually.
No, they don't, bro.
No, they actually do.
But they all
This is a
point
fact.
north. It's spherical and it's sitting in water, but they all point north.
Exactly. They point towards one direction.
Yeah, they follow the flow of the magnetic field, yes. That's how compasses work.
All that bullshit he said.
1 point. It's only pointing towards one direction.
Yeah.
We ain't never
Yeah,
seen
because
south.
the magnetic field flows from south to north. That is correct.
Going south.
Rock's got more class than bricks. Don't be a brick, Greg.
Those compasses y'all talking about is the whole flat Earth shit, man.
The moon,
right.
Trying to call it a
Bodybag. I don't have enough bags for all your bodies, guys. I gotta say.
Hold on, real quick. They try to run. He said all the energy goes up to the north. So I want you to explain, Craig.
Energy.
How all the energy goes up to the north.
No one said energy. I said the flow of the magnetic field.
South, or did he answer that? I went back on. I didn't see that.
I said the
Craig,
flow of the magnetic field. Pay attention.
Yeah, but the magnetic field is what causes what? Everything except for gravity, right? Because we always dispute gravity. This is what.
No.
Okay.
So, you're very confused. Right. You're talking about two different things there.
Hey,
no,
Craig.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Craig.
So,
hello.
So what I'm saying is, hold on. So what I'm saying is, does the compass work for magnetic field or gravity?
The compass does not have anything to do with gravity. The compass follows Earth's magnetic field.
Oh, it just ignores gravity. Good shit, random. Damn.
Right. It just ignores. Exactly. My bad. Go ahead.
Why do you think you have to hold it level? Fuck's sake.
There's a lot of equipment in the Earth that just ignores the theories that supposed
Guys, I've just
to be
bodybagged every single one of you. I do not have enough facts.
He claimed it's stronger in our universe, like in our current. He claimed this earlier. See, we're holding him this stuff. He claimed.
What did I claim? What did I claim? I bet £1,000 you are about to strawman me. What did I claim?
Okay, you claim that the forces of gravity work in certain areas which are more local than universal, right?
No, I didn't say that. Nice straw man.
Okay, well, no, it's okay. So is it weaker or stronger universally and stronger or weaker locally? Because you claim that there's two different ones. So maybe I
didn't.
That, but you claim that
again, nice straw man of what I've said.
No, go ahead. You explain to me then, since I'm confused.
Gravity is universal, and it creates a force that is proportional to the product of two or more masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Simple. There we go. There's your answer.
But it doesn't work like that.
It works exactly like that.
Earth's atmosphere. Hold on. In space, it works one way, and then on Earth, it works a different way. Meaning, like,
no, it works the same.
You can't explain. Hold on. You can't explain bubbles and balloons.
Yeah, I can.
Defying gravity. And
they don't defy gravity. They follow the predictions of gravity.
No. Keep going. Keep going.
So, what you're talking about is called a buoyant force. Now, to calculate the buoyant force, you actually need.
That's not gravity. Buoyancy is different.
Am I allowed to talk, or do you? Sorry, I bodybagged you. I bodybagged you. If you don't let me talk, then you're bodybagged. Right. Do not interrupt me. To calculate the force of buoyancy, you need to have gravity in the calculations. It's rho GV. That G stands for gravity. Okay.
But buoyancy is a.
I'm still talking. I am right. Bodybagged. If you interrupt me, then you're bodybagged, and we move on. All right. Do not interrupt me until I say. Do not interrupt me until I say I have finished talking. Okay.
Okay. Then when you're finished, let me talk and don't interrupt me. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool. So this is how buoyancy works. Let's take a helium balloon in the atmosphere. That helium balloon has less density and mass than the atmosphere around it. That means there is a stronger gravitational force acting on the air around the balloon than on the balloon. That means the air is pulled down more than the balloon. This creates bodybagged it, guys. I bodybagged it. They didn't let me finish, so I win.
Trust me, I can hold my own.
I won. They didn't let me finish, so I win.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I win. I bodybagged you all because you've interrupted me. Right. So I'll carry on what I'm saying. The air has more mass and density than the helium balloon. So, because of gravity, it is pulled down with a stronger force than the balloon. This creates a force. And no, you're going to interrupt me because that means I win the argument. Right,
we
thank
understand.
you. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. I will say when I have finished, okay? Right. This creates a force in the exact opposite direction to gravity, because gravity is putting the air down with more force than the balloon. It is very similar to being in a car with a helium balloon. If you're in a car with a helium balloon and you accelerate, that balloon doesn't go.
Bro,
okay, I win. Body bag. Body bagged. I win. Body bagged. I win. Yeah, no, you didn't let me finish what I was saying. You didn't let me. You didn't let me finish what I was saying.
You gotta allow folks to interject. I be in and out. Now check this out, man.
I'd like to finish what I was saying first.
Okay, no, you said no, bro. Just let me finish saying what I'm saying. I'm gonna interject.
But I didn't finish what I was saying. You just interrupted me.
I'm going to interject here. I have a question about the car, and you can move.
But I haven't finished what I'm saying, so maybe let me finish what I'm saying.
Bro, I'm gonna interject. You ain't gonna. If I got a question about what you saying, you gonna allow me to have a question.
You don't know what I'm saying because I haven't finished it.
Your question. I'm only gonna give you a quick question. You can have it back. If you can't do that, man, we can get the hell out of here.
Okay, carry on.
Getting annoyed. You acting like a child. Now
carry on then. What's your question?
The question is, why the hell are you putting us in the car if we live on a globe? Shouldn't we be on top of the goddamn car? We're not gonna let you go on with a flawed experiment, bro. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead, Random. That's your shit. But don't let
so now I can respond to that and finish what I was saying.
I was just trying to be respectful.
I'm talking. Right. So I'm going to finish what I was saying without being interrupted. Very similar to if you are in a car and you have a helium balloon and you step on the accelerator, that balloon won't go backwards, it will go forwards, because the force of the air being pushed back is acting more on the air than the balloon. It's all about the forces and the opposite direction. A helium balloon will go forward when you accelerate in a car, just like a helium balloon will go up, because the force of gravity is putting the air down with more force than the balloon. There we go.
Gotcha. I'm gonna tell you why that don't make no sense.
It makes perfect sense. You're gonna get it wrong.
Because look, if you on top of the damn car and the car's in motion, the helium balloon will never go forward because the wind will constantly, the drag will have the tail of the comet, right? It will constantly have.
Yeah, I'm not talking about on the car though. So.
Backwards. That's why he had to say in a car versus on a car. And
because I'm trying to explain buoyancy, and that is buoyancy. That is buoyancy.
I know I may look like a small guy, but I swear to God, I can hold my own.
Deceiving, man.
I was explaining buoyancy, and that is still buoyancy.
You got the flow, bro. Hold your own right now. I'm out your way. Don't waste your time. Hold your own.
Thank you. All right, yeah, I'm a hold on.
I love Bodybag.
Look, you said, just to clarify what you said, Craig, what order did gravity come in the four major forces?
What do you mean, what order? There is no order.
It's the weakest of the four fundamentals.
No, you definitely said, hold on, man, don't do that to me, myself. Because look, let me hold mine, because niggas be... No,
is it the weakest of the four fundamental forces? Then yes, it's the weakest of the four fundamental forces. But did you listen to the rest of what I said?
So it has no rank. They're all equal, you said? So now, are they all equal?
I never said that. Nice straw man. Good straw man. Well done.
Oh my fucking... No, I'm holding you to what you said earlier, bro.
No, you're not, because you also didn't listen to the entire thing that I said, did you? Did you listen to all of it? That explained everything?
I've been on the panel.
Clearly not, because you wouldn't be asking such a stupid question.
Well. You listen to what you say.
Yeah, I know exactly what I said.
You turn another way, like you didn't just say it. Do you remember? I listened very well.
I know exactly what I said, but you don't know you're obviously not listening to the entire thing I said because I answered your questions.
Well,
you're just now repeating things.
So, because I'm dumb, I didn't listen. If Bro Sanchez had given me the opportunity to let you explain to me one more time, where does gravity rank within the four major forces?
It is the weakest of the four fundamental forces.
Okay. Now, but you just said that it doesn't rank anywhere, and you asked me what. So now, if it ranks,
I wouldn't say it's a rank.
Hold on. What of those four forces work here on Earth with us? All four, or how many of them out of the four? I don't know. I'm stupid. I don't know. You know.
Well, both the strong and weak nuclear forces act on only the distance is tiny.
The fourth one.
Only? Oh no! All right, you don't let body bagged. Move on.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh no! What you did was interrupt me while I was talking. What you did was interrupt me whilst I was talking. So I win. Move on.
Y'all gonna let him run? which one of the four work here where we're at?
You gotta
we're
let
talking
them answer
about
the question.
I mean, I could answer your question, but you're not going to let me. You just keep interrupting me when I'm talking. So
let him answer. Go ahead, man. You got.
All right. So I'll go back to the answer that I read earlier because obviously he wasn't listening.
He go back to chat GPT. Go ahead.
I'm just going to my notes right now, and I'm going to read it back to you. Where was that?
His notes. Those are his notes, guys.
We gotta let him talk though, so they won't have the excuse that we.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this again, which I did read earlier, but obviously someone wasn't listening, and then I need to leave and finish up for the night.
Repeating himself tonight. I'm gonna read it.
He gotta leave after he.
Well, I need to repeat myself because I keep getting asked the same questions.
Show me a vacuum without a container.
Let him go. Please let
no
him
one
go.
said there's a vacuum
Let him
without a
repeat
container.
himself.
The universe is a container.
Let him repeat himself before he go. Go ahead.
Yeah. So obviously, I need to repeat myself, obviously, because people keep asking the same questions I've already answered. So, gravity is indeed the weakest of the four fundamental forces in the universe. However, the reason gravity plays such a prominent role, despite being the weakest force, has to do with its range and type of matter it affects. The strong nuclear force is the strongest force, but only operates at very short ranges, on the order of the size of atomic nuclei. The weak nuclear force also operates at extremely small scales, even smaller. The electromagnetic force is much stronger than gravity and operates at all scales, but it balances itself out because it has both positive and negative, meaning a net zero charge. Gravity, on the other hand, is always attractive and affects all matter. There is no such thing as a negative mass to balance it out. Therefore, on large scales like the scale of planets, stars and galaxies, and the universe itself, gravity dominates despite being the weakest force. In terms of explaining phenomena, gravity is crucial for understanding the structure and the evolution of the universe, the orbits of planets, formations of stars and galaxies, and much more. So despite being the weakest force, it has a profound effect on the large-scale structure of the universe. There we go. Explained.
Now, let me please respond to that. Now, mind you, when I asked him about gravity and the force and the strength of it and where it ranked and shit, he started going into buoyancy and density. Nothing what he just said.
No, you asked after
buoyancy and density. This is why this motherfucker don't know shit.
What are you on about? You asked about the ranking after we talked about buoyancy and density. Why did you just lie to everyone? Why did you just lie to everybody?
I didn't get my question. I didn't get my
Wait,
question.
hold on. Why did you just lie to everybody? You just lied to everyone.
At this point, Random and Craig have went back and forth pretty a good little while. Let's go to somebody else now. I think a lot of folks trying to go. So let's go ahead,
bro.
I got a
quick question, I do. I'll do one more question. Okay, right, one more question, then I have to go. Okay.
Craig, you muted. I think he gotta go.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Craig.
No, I'm just saying I could do one more question, and then I gotta go. Okay. So I could do one more question, guys, and then I have to go.
I wanted to ask Craig. Listen, Craig, I wanted to ask you what you still believe we landed on the moon when Buzz Aldrin said we didn't. It didn't happen.
He didn't say we didn't. He said we didn't go back.
I have the video. Look up the Look the video.
Yeah.
Zoe.
Yeah, no, I've seen the video. He's talking right.
So you're
what question is he right?
No, I'm
right. Bodybagged. You won't let me talk, then you're bodybagged.
Debates based on he said, she said. I like when people bring up spherical geometry and shit like that, and
I got some, Bro Sanchez.
You know what I'm saying? If it'll be a good moon argument if we can use observative-based research, like when I tried to show the stars through the moon, or like the moon black. Just what Buzz Aldrin said is still in the realm of he say, she say. That's like them saying NASA said.
But he said it.
I know what Buzz Aldrin said, and I even think it's crazy that he want to swear in on the Bible, but you ain't never heard me bring that up in a debate, though. I come with.
Bro Sanchez, can we end on
just before I go, if I could just do a quick response to that. Buzz Aldrin was responding to a specific question. The question that the girl asked was, "Why haven't we gone back?" That is the only time he said we didn't go. The rest of that entire interview, don't interrupt. The rest of that interview, he was talking about his time on the moon and going to the moon. Then the girl asks, "Why haven't we gone back?" And he responds with, "Well, we haven't gone." Because he's talking about going back, and he's right. We haven't gone back.
It never happened.
That is the answer.
It never happened.
Now, thank you very much, guys. I very much appreciate it. Bro Sanchez.
It never happened.
Be quiet, please.
Never will
Thank you.
We haven't been. If we've never
hello,
been to the moon,
I'm talking. Please stop
questions
interrupting. Please, hello. Shh. Thank you. All right, Bro Sanchez. Thank you very much for having me back on.
Everybody,
I very much
let
appreciate
this man
it.
close out. He gotta go. We're gonna go back. We're gonna keep going.
Bro Sanchez, thank you for having me back on. Thank you for actually moderating this quite well. I do appreciate that. Let me have my say. It was very good. I'm more than willing to come back and answer more questions from you guys anytime you want. And I definitely think we should get another PPV debate on the go because that was great fun.
Oh,
you
yeah,
answered the vacuum.
Hey, thank you,
definitely
Craig.
got it popping,
All right.
man. Appreciate you,
guys.
Craig, and your
Peace out.
Salute,
have a good
Craig.
night.
He's
and
on
I will
that
speak to you
UK
soon.
Salute,
time,
Craig.
man.
We appreciate you, brother.
Love to you, bro.
He's on that UK time because you know I can see the moon outside and it's probably night.
Oh my goodness, that was headache inducing. Oh my lord. The amount of ignorance is astounding, isn't it? Like, I don't even know what to say. Oh, lots of messages on Discord and stuff. So, guys, thank you for being here tonight. And once again, an absolutely insane level of support, which blows my mind every time. I've been quite ill past week. Petri dish of a daughter, you know. So I've not released all the stuff that I wanted to, but tomorrow I will release the entire PPV debate that I had with Bro Sanchez. And I've also got a debate with, you know, Kevin, the rotation denier, the green leprechaun guy. I think Flatzoid doesn't want to debate me anymore after I ruined him so badly, so other things will be going on. Yeah, so tomorrow will be the release of the PPV debate and a debate against Kevin. Tuesday, I release episode 1 remake of Flerfs Are Idiots. And then Wednesday, I am debating the Asylum. Woo! Because who needs brain cells? So, I want to read all the super chats because you guys have sent me an insane amount of support, as always. I genuinely don't know how to say thank you enough for all the support that you give. Okay, 51 new members. So we got Mike Mitchfit for $5. It says, can I join this debate to deal with Bro Sanchez? Next time, I will bring people with me. Janos Takos for 512 huffs. All shirts, are shirts optional on Flat Earth? Sign me up. Yeah, a lot of them were topless, weren't they? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I've got like 3 debate shorts ready to go, so they'll be released soon as well. And then Siggy Sigweld, who is the Oprah of memberships, gifts 50 of them. 50. You get a membership, you get a membership, and you get a membership. If you became a member today and you didn't pay for it, say thank you to Siggy. Zachary Martin for 550 Canadian dollars says, so Craig, raise your voice, stomp your feet, and let loose the most epic wah ever. Then Flerfs won't know what hit them. Wah! Yeah, I just acted like them. Bodybag! Bodybag! They don't let me talk. I fucking win. Your pal Al, member for 2 months, says, welcome back to the channel that does the stupidity what Tears of Kingdom players did to Koroks. Brutal. Siggy Sigweld for 666 ARSs says, wave particle duality? You're talking witchcraft to them now, man. And then for another 666 says, how do Flerfs think their eyes work exactly? I would love to know. Stay pagan and hail Sagan. $2 from RT96 says, vacuum tubes glow. I know. We know that light can propagate about medium because vacuum chambers aren't dark. Patrick Butler for $2 says, OMG morons. Sorry. Mr. E-Man for $5 Australian. Even if they let you finish saying what you want to say, Flerfs still won't listen to what you are saying. I know they never listen. That's why I keep answering the same questions over and over again. Welcome to my life. Janos Takos for 1,024 huffs. In my opinion, vacuum is a medium. It has electric permittivity and magnetic permeability, opposite to literal nothing that has no properties. Yeah, but that would be too much for them to, you know. Patrick Butler for $5. Thank you very much, Patrick. So telescopes are okay, and so is math with these two. How are they Flerfs? There's not just one kind of Flerf. There's a broad spectrum of stupid. Tommy Grunville for 20 Nokias. Easy question. How high up is the sun? Or apparently it's below fucking airliners. Like literally less than 30,000 feet. Steve6464, $5 says, don't they get that we know when they say the earth is flat, we understand that there are mountains and valleys. No, they don't understand anything, dude. Petermus Prime for $10 Australian says, we say the universe is flat, and that means that parallel lines will always remain parallel. 90-degree turns behave as true 90-degree turns, and everything makes sense. Yeah, they really don't understand what the universe is flat means. It's not what they think. Patrick Butler for $2 says, stop running FTFE. Yeah, because that's all I do. Sparky Steve for £5. Holy smokes, Batman. Every one of that gaggle of Flerfs can count to 21. Only if they all take off their underpants. Donald Trump's 34 indictments for member of 37 months, says, wickety wackety 37 months, no Flerfs with evidence. That's for all of time, actually, bud. Oh, excuse me. Zachary Martin for 11 Canadian dollars says, I mean, come on, you squig-brained lol. GPT is all about the language, not finding stuff. It's here to talk chat and give you proper orcish answers, not fetch you things like a groveling snortling. Warhammer. Sneaky Sigweld for 666 ARSs. I read recently the Betelgeuse will become supernova soon. Maybe even already is, but light hasn't come to us yet. It will illuminate the night sky as much as the moon. What do Flerfs think about this? Flerfs don't think, so, you know. Yeah, it'd be cool, though, if we saw Betelgeuse go supernova. NA, $6.66. Excuse me. What is the flavour of green crayons? I'm asking for a flat earther. The purple ones taste best, I've heard. Stu Pedesso for $2 says, a group of Flerfs is a fallacy of Flerfs. Yes, it is. Oh no, it's Andy for £2. It's almost as if their extensive research failed. Research? Patrick Butler, $2 says, why no talk of water mountains? Get out. Just leave. Siggy Sigweld, $5. I can't get over the bad pronunciation of words and the level of not understanding anything of this Flerfs. Yeah, I know. They all call Earth a spear. It's not a spear, guys. Patrick Butler, $2. Ignoring gravity is important in this cult. Of course it is. How does water stick to a ball? Gravity. You said bad word. Patrick Butler, $2 says, you're letting rookies beat you now. Of course. Gary Little for $10. On the flat earth, fly the equator to the west. Now, how often do you have to turn the nose left or right to stay on the equator? Don't ask important questions. It hurts them. Palus, for 20 Nokias, says, Fack, I love this shit. Me too. JCNS, new member, thank you very much. You fucking awesome person. Lord Luminous Pooh for $5. Not to imply anything, I asked Fight how many lovers he had before Emma. He started counting and fell asleep. Emma's all I ever need. She's my world, man. I'd be dead without her, that's for sure. Lord Luminous Pooh for $2. Hey, AI, act like a Flerf. Now is Earth flat? Yeah. So what they do is they put a bunch of stuff into ChatGPT. Ignore gravity, act like this, blah, blah, blah. Then ask it questions, get answers that they think validate them and go, woo! Well, yeah, that's because you told ChatGPT to do that. You dipshit. Albius for $6.66 Canadian. Do keep interrupting Sanchez, please, Craig. He hates it so much and I love his rage. Yep. Bodybagged! Lord Luminous Pooh for $2. Despite my wishes, aren't Flerfs part of the data? Unfortunately, but they're a very small part. And we've got 10 Nokias from Palace. Thank you very much. Bill Tetley for $10 says, for Emma, on behalf of Fight's fans, thank you for being an amazing supportive woman. Without you all, we wouldn't have the joy of watching Fight the Flat Shirt beat the nonsense out of Flerfs. Emma! Oh no, don't think she can hear me. Palace for 10 Nokias says, nothing. Thank you very much. Borks, who's a member for 1 month, says, how many crayons are these guys stuffed up their noses? That's how they think they eat them. Traveller X has been a member for 40 months. That's a long time. It's the if the densest things find their inevitable way to the ground, how are these idiots walking upright? Magic, obviously. Anthony Fox, $5. Hey, real quick. Hold up, though. Hold up. Earth's a spear, though, bro. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Bro Sanchez, 2023. Dr. Mantis Toboggan for $2.20 New Zealand dollars. Why do they even accept the Van Halen belts exist? Icy Spin 199 says, thanks for exposing the ChatGPT prompt abuse. Yeah, I knew he went to the top. We could see exactly what he'd made it say. MB for £2 says, the lying was off the chart tonight. Got a lighter, Flerf. Draco Paul for $10 Canadian says, they are morons. I don't have to use all the words I paid for. They are morons. End of story. Thank you very much. Last one from Pat in the chat for $2. So when are we getting a body bag emoji or badge? We definitely need one, don't we? Guys, thank you for an amazing night, as always. Please come back tomorrow for more stupid. I might even release 3 things tomorrow. I'll do a debate short. I'll do the full debate of the PPV. And then the debate with Kevin. How about that? Sound good? Like it. Just because you guys deserve it. Or maybe you don't and I hate you. One of the two. But, you know, here's the full song where I rap.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a bring right now. Bring
Bill
right
Tetley,
now,
$5.
bring
Emma,
right
Emma,
now.
my fans love me more than you. Emma, FTFE 2023.
Come with a storm warning. Better batten down the hatches, grab some matches and brace yourself for a long day of misery. YouTube has given me the power to reach up into the sky and show you all that we live on the ball. I bring you science that is comprehensible. Your view is indefensible. You're reprehensible. When I was young, I never thought I would be here to see this. A pile of random nonsense dressed up as bullshit. Your ignorance will be the death of us all, like running head first full speed into a wall. You could always read a book, buy a telescope, set it up and take a photo of the moon, or just be a buffoon. I send you in a balloon onto the stratosphere on page 3.
You're a few fries short of a happy meal. You're dumber than a box of hair. The wheel's spinning but the hamster's dead, and you're as smart as bait. You forgot to pay your brain bill. You're missing a few buttons on the remote control. 24 cents short of a quarter. You're surfing in Nebraska. You're as bright as Alaska in December, and you fell out of your family tree. You don't have all the cornflakes in one box. You got an IQ of 2 and it takes 3 to grunt. The elevator doesn't go all the way up, and there's a vacancy on the top floor. Your antenna doesn't pick up all the channels. You're several nuts short of a
You're Mr.
fruitcake.
Sensible, calm down, don't go too hard. You don't need the hard to burying Flerfs in your backyard. You're a man of science, poise and grace. Mage 2 did everything to wipe the grins off the face. So Nathan, get away from those kids. The world is not flat and it doesn't have a lid. Recognize the differences between the textbook and the Bible and control yourself. Lay off your slander and your lies. You're a bunch of knobs poisoning the well of the youth, spreading lies that you like to claim as knowledge and truth. Stop spreading fresh bullshit like the butter on your bread. Maybe your musical assault knock some sense into your head. I hope one day you'll hear these lyrics and smile, and you realize you used to be a 40-year-old child. Now it's time to wake up, open your eyes and see, and acknowledge the existence of gravity.
You're a few clowns short of a circus. Your phone is off the hook. Your sewing machine is out of thread. You're all foam and no beer. You don't have all your dogs on one leash. An intellect rivaled only by garden tools. There's no grain in your silo, and your skylight leaks a little. Your belt doesn't go through all the loops. You couldn't pour water out of the boot without instructions on the heel. Your slinky's kinked, and you're proof that evolution can work in reverse. A few feathers short of a whole duck, one fruit loop short of a full bowl.
Airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. Should be wishing for a bring right now, bring right now, bring right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a bring right now, bring right now, bring right now.
You thought it was over? Well, I'm still standing while you're swinging, flinging feces, talking shit just like the human centipede. You got the mind of a chimp, and I'm here to expedite your shore leave. Cause I'm a seaman, but not the kind I rinse up from your mum's gums. I'm the kind that sailed submarines and fired guns.
I could float a boat across the ocean with my eyes closed. Circumnavigate the globe with a compass and a bag of sausage rolls. Well, all you can do is nibble on your toes. I'll smack you with the hose that you taught a water level. Sit and swivel. You nasal gazing muppet, you can stuff it harder than the wallet stuffed by Warren Buffett. And I don't care about your sauces unless you're serving them. And I don't care about your lines unless you're curving them. Now step away from me, you're sucking up my oxygen with a vacuum where your brain should be, you dumb fuck.
Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Fight the flat. Fight the flat.